just mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J. Mitch. We got Jackie Boy.
He tried to jump up and he might have knocked it in.
Good time. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys would come in, say,
oh, God.
So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in a headlock. And he's sitting there.
Helmet.
He's punching me in the stomach, like steady punching me.
Here, and there's everyone sitting around. Who here thinks Ovchinko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's doing the team
6 minutes.
for 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ovchinko can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. I fucking saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
Be on the Spirit plane had some issues. I think she was sleep farting.
You heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled.
Whoa. What was that?
Time to start the show.
Why would I have that?
You had in a circus or something.
6'3", I'm late. Like, I don't even know what I'd be doing.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? And it's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they're used to
Players, look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
I mean, you're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
Yeah.
He was like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now.
Hello. It is March 8th, 2023. Welcome back to Mik'd. We are here live in studio today. We got the boys in here today. We are missing one. We are probably going to get him later in the show.
Nate might be on the show.
Maybe. We're trying to pry him from prior engagements right now, but we're trying to get him on later today. We got a great show for you today. We're going to run through some stuff. We got LSU taking on Lamar University, aka the Fighting Will Davises, the Heart of Baton Rouge, 6:30 right here tonight in Alex Box Stadium. I wish I could be there. We wish we could be there, but we'll be here and we'll be live streaming it.
Live streaming it. Yeah. I'll set the camera up there.
We'll be talking about it. Game starts at 6:30 though.
We got flagged for like 15 seconds of it, so I mean, I'll play with that fire. That's nothing. I could cut that out real quick.
Hey, we got the substitute teachers running this thing today. We can do what we want.
Literally
baby.
roll the TV in.
We can do what we want, baby. So we got that going live today. We got LSU basketball taking on Georgia in the SEC tournament in the nightcap. What time does that game start?
Oh, I'm so checked out on LSU basketball, dude. If it's the nightcap, I'd imagine 8:30.
Man, I don't know how I feel about it. As much as I'd love to see him win, I'd love to see him also start building on next year. So, good luck to him.
Good luck to him.
Nightcap tonight. If you're into that kind of thing, we got LSU basketball later tonight. We got LSU's women's basketball awaiting their seed on Sunday. They finished the tournament. Obviously, lost to Tennessee. Was that a 2-point loss, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, they blew like a 15-point lead.
15-point lead. That's what I thought. Something like that happens though. Got to get to the next one. Sorry, there'll probably be a 2 or a 3 seed, whatever way it rolls.
Yeah, that was my theory. Is that they wanted to lose, so they didn't have to show South Carolina what they were going to do to them in the tournament. You don't want to see them 3 times.
Yeah, that's possible.
Just get out of here now. Go home and start prepping.
That's possible. We got LSU football also releases their spring roster. Harold Perkins is going to make a number change. If you're into that kind of thing, if you are into merchandise, you might as well go ahead and start queuing that up a little bit. He's going to be number 4 this year. Numbers changing to 4 this year. How you feel about that, Lloyd?
Well, he was 4 in high school, right? So it's obviously something that means something to him. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's part of like the 504 because he does love his New Orleans roots. But I think he's just prepped himself to be single digits for the next year. Junior year, he'll be 7. Like he's just get ready. Just don't buy jersey. Like buy them and then buy them again. That's part of the whole NIL collective.
Just go ahead, start running.
You'll
that
have
thing
3.
right now.
You'll have 3 perk jerseys.
Yeah, just go ahead, get in the penny jar. Let's go ahead, get it out.
44
Whatever you
and
need.
7.
Whatever you need. You got time. Listen, it is only March. Season don't start until late August. Go ahead, start getting in that penny jar. Let's get that. Number 4. Switching the number.
And then they start practice tomorrow.
Yeah, spring practice will start very soon. I didn't actually see the schedule of it, but I know it's actually really soon. So
A lot of people out.
well, maybe that might be for good.
That's what kind of what Brian Kelly says. Like I'd rather do it now than later. If
Might
you
be
need
for
to
good.
have if you need to get cleaned up, do whatever.
Right.
When does
Like I'm a big believer when it comes to the spring. Like I get it. You know, there's stuff that needs to be done on the field. There is things that guys need to work on the field. But if we can get you in the classroom too, as well as to get your mind working, to get your mind understanding it, to be able to see and be out there. And if I can get you locked in and actually doing those things, because that's the hard part about it. Is one thing to kind of be in there doing it and just going through the motions and not really paying attention. Obviously, there is no greater teacher than experience, so you're actually going to go through it and do it. But if I can get you to actually lock in, treat it like that backup quarterback that actually pays attention and gets that opportunity, right? If I can get you to actually lock in the classroom work and stuff that they do right now, I think the guys that are out right now are going to not necessarily miss so much of a step of what they can get done in the spring right here. What's your thoughts on it?
You would know more about it than I would. I don't know what goes on at spring ball. I guess it would be more of a factor if it wasn't his first year, right? You would want everybody in the building. You got to set the tone. All the things that you saw him do.
Well, I mean, spring ball is it's 2 things. It's you may have some guys going through some position changes, right? Which is so now it's a little bit of different technique. You're being asked to do maybe a little bit different stuff, or you got guys that are stepping into roles where it's, hey, you're no longer in the background of this role. You are about to be the forefront and the featured person at this role. And it's time to actually know this thing inside and out like the back of your hand. So spring ball gives you the first opportunity, honestly, to get on the field to kind of get that stuff done again. That's really what spring ball is for. So you kind of get the opportunity to grow through experience, through real reps with the ones in that situation. And that's kind of where things change.
Yeah, that's the first person, the way that you lay that out. First person I would think is Mason Taylor. Like he was kind of thrust into that tight end role. Now he knows he's the bona fide starter at tight end. But then it gives the people behind him that they brought in, Mac Markway, an opportunity. So there's pros and cons, but most of all, I just think you want to see them come in healthy. And like I said, Brian Kelly doesn't have to establish culture. The players the only people that you would be worried about are the transfers that you brought in, but they're already going to be 10 toes down because they ain't got nowhere else to go. So they're going to put.
They got nowhere else to go, and they're coming in to try to make a name for themselves.
Right? Because you obviously already left the program.
So it's about buying in. I would imagine that was a large part of the sell to come here was to be able to buy in, to be able to compete for championships, and not necessarily just to come here for yourself, right?
Yeah, 1 year and get out.
Right. So I would imagine the guys that are coming in they're coming in with a purpose in a sense of like, let me show out in this situation. That way I can kind of thrust myself into an opportunity for more playing time. So, that's where we're at with spring practice, and we'll see when it opens up and how everything goes. This Ole Miss job for the basketball coach is heating up, and it seems to be
there's one swing that's bigger than the other.
Seems to be former Texas coach who was just recently fired due to what is a domestic dispute, right?
Yeah, so what had happened was he had gotten to like a 3 a.m. argument with his wife, I believe. And
probably multiple.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So the police come. They, it obviously makes headline news. Texas suspends him, doesn't fire him. And then once it seems like that he could get fired for cause and lose the, $50 million contract Texas had offered,
right.
His wife said, I'm not pressing charges because
right.
now we got now we got real problems.
Right.
And so he gets placed on administrative leave, he gets fired, loses the contract, but now the situation around it, since there's no charges being filed, if there's a school out there that wants to take a swing, no pun intended, And with a guy that's not really in trouble, but he has a seedy past, that's your opportunity to do. That's your Ole Miss can do that because they're not going to get punished for it.
Boy. So where does this put Will Wade? Because we thought
that's what I'm saying. One
we
swing's
thought
much
he was
bigger
in
than the other.
we thought he was on the inside lane of this thing right now, and it's not seeming like that right now. What's your thoughts on that process?
I don't know. I tried to do the pod this morning, but Stu already had it taken care of. He's gobbling up my hours.
He's trying to get the tea right there.
So I would imagine that there was some, where there's smoke, there's fire. I haven't heard anything, but that seemed like the most probable hire, right? Like you have a coach that can recruit, a coach that's won in the SEC, a coach that can turn a program around very quickly. It's just sitting there waiting with no show cause penalty, no anything that you think's going to come from it. Then you have somebody with actual legal history and trouble, allegedly, that
recent,
like within the last 6 months, could be. I don't know. You can pick and choose which one you think is the better coach. Everybody loves. Obviously, Texas took a massive swing to get him from Texas Tech, but I mean the implications of what you're doing here. Right. You're gonna get some. There's gonna be it goes to show what college basketball is.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
But we'll see where Will Wade ends up. I'd imagine if his name is still clear, he'll get a job at some point soon.
Right. I would imagine. I couldn't imagine him being out for too much longer now that we're seeing where this thing's going.
Absolutely.
So we got the Pelicans right now, who are firmly sitting in this 10th spot in the West. They're 31-34, which is three games under 500. They're sitting they're wedged right between the Lakers at 9 and the Thunder at 11. And we are still looking at Zion Williamson out right now. The latest news is he's going to get reevaluated in another 2 weeks.
That seems to be.
We're at what?
Sounds like me.
Man, we're at about the 20 games left point. It's pretty much nut cutting time, and I'm getting worried for him right now because what looked like a great team is you're very much on the verge of possibly missing the playoffs if you can't get him back. And this team's good, man, and they could be really, really, really good if he's on the court. They showed that a lot this year. And to not have him for as long as they've been not having him.
And you have to worry about him not being able – I mean, a hamstring is a hamstring. He can't do much cardio.
No.
You would like to get him back.
It's going to be tough
20.
to have him at game speed, you know what I mean, but when you get him back. So it's – another 2 weeks is tough.
Another 2 weeks is tough, and that's – I mean, I've been trying to keep up with the Pelicans, and – whenever they had everybody right, then B.I. was out for a long time. He just came back.
I'm not understanding what exactly is going on. Was the injury worse than what they initially thought? Like the grade of the strain, or was it actually more than a strain?
He re-injured it again, rehabbing.
Yeah, but we keep re-injuring. This is the second time re-injuring it, rehabbing. I'm not understanding how we're pushing it so much to where this is you don't usually see it happen that much in rehab.
But it's a combination of his size and how explosive he is. I'd imagine he's almost like a track athlete, to where if one thing goes wrong, it's almost he's out for a minute till he's totally healthy. And the Pelicans are still handling him with kid gloves. You've invested all this money into him. At first it was to be able to keep him on the team, right? To make sure he signed an extension, we'll take care of you, whatever. And now you have to protect your investment a little bit. So I hate to say it was predictable. There was always one of two worlds where Zion was a superstar, or this version of him where he's never in the lineup, but when he plays, he's great.
Yeah, I knew there was
especially the face of the league.
I knew there was a strong possibility he'd get hurt again this year, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Just look at the history of what he's been in the league so far. I'm just surprised that once that injury did happen, and we knew, all right, it's hamstring, it's this, you got probably about this kind of timetable, and then that timetable gets pushed back. And then within that timetable gets pushed back. I'm like, oh, man, it's not other parts going on. It's still the same hamstring. So to me, I'm just like, was it worse than what you actually thought? I don't understand how we keep re-injuring stuff like that.
And it almost feels, just because they're in the same building, it feels a little bit like the Jameis injury, to where with his back, it was he's fine, he's medically cleared, but it's
well, that's my point. He's so when you go back to Jameis, it was very obvious. They came out and said it was a broken back, but the way they went about saying it made it seem like it was it's just a broken back. He'll sleep it off in about 3 or 4 sleeps and he'll be back and he's good to go.
Yeah.
And it's wait, time out, but it's broken and it's a back muscle. It can't be, or not muscle, it's
his
back.
Vertebrae.
It can't, you can't do it like that. And so I'm wondering if the same thing where they kind of I won't say misdiagnosed, but like underplayed what it was.
I think that's probably the case, it's probably this, like, for the Jameis thing, they had to do it like that because he continued to play. They didn't take him out the game when they probably diagnosed him with might have broken his back, and he wants to go back out there. He put him back out there, so now we have to shelf him for the rest of the year to avoid like almost med mal.
Right.
And then you see now, I guess, learn from your lessons. It's the same people in the building, right? It's both staff work for both teams, right? Or do I have that?
That
wrong?
I'm not exactly sure of.
But I would imagine that, like, when Bo was there, he worked for the Pelicans and the Saints, right? Or did he just do?
I think he was just the Saints.
Okay.
And I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure. I don't know for sure, but I would imagine that's a hell of a lot of double work. You know, like if it was both. So there might be some that are working back and forth. Like I would imagine they'd probably deal with the same doctors, right? Because those doctors aren't in house. They're outsourced for the most part. So I'd imagine they probably deal with the same doctors, but as far as for the actual medical staff in building, I would imagine it's probably for the most part different.
Yeah, I just know for the communication staff, they pull double duty, so I didn't know if they had some sort of contract where you're paying me a substantial amount more to work for two teams.
I can see that. I'm just thinking of like, because you gotta imagine like in the, I don't know, maybe January, December when things are starting to ramp up. Well, December really, the NBA season starts in October. Football's going in October. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you would be able to run both practices and then travels or what. So that's the only reason why I say maybe I can see the communication staff, but I'd be hard for me to believe that the full staff was double dipping.
Yeah,
right
or
now.
they just like alternate, do rotations essentially.
Maybe.
But it's just funny that it's happening under the same building.
Yeah,
and
that is. Same city, same building. Yeah. It's a little weird.
And the injuries aren't similar, but just the mishandling of them are. Like, I understand why they protected Jameis. And at some point, you have to treat Zion with a little bit of tough love, right? You can't let him continue. It's not like he doesn't want to play, and I understand that. But at some point, it can't be every time he gets hurt, he can't be out there.
But that's the thing. I'm wondering, like, when I think about Zion, I don't really get the feel that he's.
No, that's what.
I don't get the AD feel.
Right.
I get we got the training wheels on him feel. AD was literally, if you just blew on him too hard, the wind hit him too hard, he was out for 3 weeks.
He got busted in the nose like 2 nights ago.
That's the hardest I've ever seen him ever. I was like, wait, he came back out after that?
Yeah, he actually played.
What? I was like, not AD. So I was actually surprised by that one. But no, like AD felt like, like tissue. Like that's what I felt like you were watching. Every time he went down, he was out for a while.
Street clothes.
Yeah, he got the name for a reason. But I don't feel like that's what I don't get that feel from Zion. I feel like it's literally the staff that's training wheeling. They don't want him out there. They don't want him to, kind of be hurt. They don't want him to play half-ass. They want, either you're going to be 100 or we're just not going to put you out there. Realistically, in the world of professional sports, you ain't going to be 100.
Ever.
Almost ever. Hardly ever. It's really, really hard to do that. And I won't even say it's hard to do that. It's almost just literally impossible to do that. And I kind of get the feel that they keep trying to not put him out there unless it's, everything's 100% A-okay. And I'm not sure that's possible. Not sure that's possible.
I agree. I mean, it feels like they're still trying to protect him because of how much they have invested in him.
Yeah.
But if you never get to see him, nobody's gonna go to the games because the team is ready made to win now. They're missing one piece.
Yeah.
Which is the first overall pick that was supposed to transcend the league. Which he does when he plays.
He does. He's great on the court. It's hard to deny what he's doing when he's on the court. We just got to get him out there more.
And we have about 15 to first pitch. So.
Oh, well, I was already about to flip it back to it because I kind of want to talk about, and I kind of really want to talk about it. First off, I have a lot of love for Lamar University's head coach. Will Davis is a dear friend of mine. Will Davis is a great person. Will Davis is very, very, very close to the LSU program. And Will Davis has the Lamar Cardinals singing right now. Like, them birds is singing right now. They are playing really, really, really well. They're 10-2 in the season. They've played great so far this year. I feel like they got 10 walk-off wins already this year. They don't, but it feels like they do because they have.
They keep themselves in every
They
game.
have a lot. They have a lot of walk-off wins this season. They're playing really, really, really well, and I do think this will be a very, very good test for LSU because if you know baseball, the biggest thing that you can have on your side in baseball is confidence. By far, it's confidence, right? Because if you believe you can do something in baseball, it really doesn't matter how you get it done. You just might end up getting it done, right? And this team's coming in here with a ton of confidence. They've beaten some good teams. They've beaten Texas A&M. They've beaten a couple other good teams. They don't feel like they're going somewhere where they're going to be in awe of the lights or whatever crowd is there or however many runs LSU has scored or however many strikeouts LSU has pitched and stuff like that. I really get the feel that they welcome this competition and this challenge, and this is going to be a dogfight for LSU. Now, on the flip side of it, we're getting our first look at Christian Little starting in an LSU uniform. I can't wait to see what we see tonight. The guy's pitched lights out this year. He's been unbelievable this year, arguably one of their best arms this year. And he is going to get the start tonight, and we'll see how far he gets to go and how far he gets stretched out. But you have a great matchup tonight. I wish I was there. For all of you who are going to be there, I'm very jealous of you actually getting on the road and going there. And it's gonna be a barn burner tonight. You got great weather too for it.
See, I kind of expect a close game too. When we wrapped our last show on Monday, I said I would actually, if they give a point spread out, I would take Lamar in this situation just because of everything that you laid out, like Will Davis being from here, played catcher from like 05 to 07, something like that.
His dad coached here. He coached here.
Yeah, he coached under Paul Maneri. Like he understands what it's like to play in Baton Rouge, what midweek games may or may not mean to LSU, but he knows that people are going to show up here.
Oh, yeah.
And so you get the boys ready for this is a big stage for you, especially if you're rolling in with momentum.
Oh, yeah.
There's an opportunity for LSU to drop a midweek today, especially with the first-time starter. He hasn't started since he was at Vanderbilt, and I think he's only had like 12 career starts, 12 to 15, something like that in 2 years. So it's another feel him out for Jay Johnson. You saw the lineup that I put up on the screen, like Trey back and left.
So we're going to run it with Dugas, Trey, Cruz, White, Beloso, Thompson, Neal, Kling. Kling back in it again. I told you, he wants him in there again.
And Beloso.
Again. Yep. So he knows. I get the feel Jay put this lineup together because I do still feel that Jared Jones is going to be a huge part of what LSU does this year. And I know Jay wants to keep his confidence high as can possibly be right now. So for them to have this midweek game after they've had just 4 in a row and Beloso played a good bit of it, for him to be right back in it again lets me know that Jay puts importance on this win tonight. Jay knows this is a huge game for him. He knows what they've done already this year against other teams and other good ball clubs. And he knows that, hey, this is one that we could easily drop if we don't show up and show out tonight, if we don't show up and play well tonight. So it's going to be very, very, very interesting to see what you get. I am surprised.
I'm sorry, I was looking up Lamar's record.
No. They're 10-2.
10-2.
I am surprised. I won't say surprised.
And they got some guys that can kind of bang in the lineup.
Yeah. I think this off the top of my head because I don't know anything about their starter tonight, but I'm thinking myself, if their starter can pitch in and around the zone and kind of control the zone a little bit, you would be right on par, I think, to be taking Lamar in the spread in this one. Because I do think this game has potential to be a 3 to 4, maybe even less run game in the end of it.
And at some point, LSU, you just can't – you don't do this every week, right? You don't do this every game where you put up 80-plus runs in 5 games. Yeah. Like at some point, you run into a little bit of, all right, bats are cold today.
You run into a low a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And so we'll see. Like you said, Christian's going back into a situation that he hasn't been in this year, but obviously he's done in the past. Little things like that that are changed up could honestly be the catalyst for something that is different than we're used to seeing. And tonight could be that opportunity. Now, do I think that they'll lose this game? I don't. Off the top of my head, right now, I don't. But I do think you're going to end up seeing a really good ball game here tonight.
I agree. And I'm excited. I'm thinking maybe, hopefully, depending on how the game goes. I don't think it'll matter either way for Will, but if we could get him on Friday, have him recap.
I would love
I feel
to.
like y'all could pull those strings.
I would love to. I think we probably can. It just would depend on where his schedule is and timing and stuff.
Setting, as
yeah,
they
but
say.
I think so. So LSU's leading this all-time series 8-6 right now.
Not as much as closer than the experts think.
Closer than the experts think. This will be game 15 between LSU and Lamar. This will be Will's, I think, maybe 3rd time playing against LSU. I'm not exactly sure what his record is in these games, but 8-6 tells you that they've usually come in town and put up a good ball game.
And what it's been, I think Blake Dean went through a similar stretch wherever he would bring the Privateers into the building.
Well, listen, the Privateers have always been a thorn
threat,
in LSU's side. Literally forever. It's like they have always played LSU well. And I think this is another team that's going to come in and play him really well.
How long do you expect Little to go? Do you think he's just see what you can do, or is it a pitch count thing where, all right, let's get him comfortable back on the mound starting? Like, is it?
I can't imagine him
as a starter because he's been lights out as a closer.
Yeah, I can't imagine him just because of where he's been, and he's been in the closing role. He's been kind of in that middle, kind of like bridge role where he's thrown multiple innings. I can't imagine him starting the inning probably over maybe 65 to 70 pitches.
Yeah, because you want to be able to keep him. I guess you
He's
don't want to overextend him in case
he's just not over. He's just not stretched out for that yet. You know, I think they would love to. I think he would always. I think he came in with loving the opportunity to start. So I would imagine tonight this feels good for him. But I think he does understand that. All right, my role right now on this team, for best case scenario for me and the best case scenario for this team, will be out of the bullpen. Obviously on the weekend. So he's not super stretched out right now in the sense of pitch count and stuff like that.
Right.
So I just can't imagine him getting over 65 or starting an inning over maybe 65 or 70 pitches.
And I was going to ask how much it has to do with how Blake Money played the other night, where you see like, all right, we might have another viable arm. Obviously, he started the year last year as what seemed to be your Friday night guy, tails off a little bit. Now he's trying to work his way back just into the rotation, comes in and deals. I understand LSU's not playing the toughest competition, but just to see him comfortable on the mound again probably felt good for the staff.
Yeah, I think if you see him throw tonight, I think tonight is a huge stepping stone in what could be his role and how he's used on the weekend throughout the season after this. I thought coming into the year, I don't know if you remember it, I said I think someone who might end up throwing well. I don't know exactly what role and how and when he'll see him actually pitch, but someone I thought might end up throwing well, because I just think, look, some people are made to be the quote-unquote alpha. Like, it's just in you, right? He doesn't strike me, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, he just doesn't strike me as the guy that is the quote-unquote leader. Now, does he have stuff that could somewhat put him in a Friday night weekend role? Yeah, but I think he's better suited because of the person that he is in a different role. And I think him being in a different role this year has allowed him to throw better this year, honestly, because he is not the quote-unquote leader of the staff. And I think something like that could propel him to put up better numbers.
He was forced into that last year.
Yeah, he
right?
had to.
He
had to.
And you almost kind of have to fake it till you make it.
He had to.
Or you're like, all right, I'm going to be a bulldog Friday night guy, swag out. Like, you expect to be dominant. And if that's not who you are, then you get caught up in not being able to dominate every Friday night. Then you're uncomfortable in your role, being like, they know I'm faking it up here. And that's when it gets tough on just the entire staff, because we don't trust our Friday night guy to be able to go out and shove for 7 innings. Like Skeens is a legitimate. That's what you expect from Friday night at LSU. Whether it be Kevin Gosman, Skeens, go down the list.
I would say if you remember 2 starts ago for Skeens, I would say it got to a point last year with Blake where the inning that the starting inning that Skeens threw 2 weeks ago in Round Rock,
you'd have been pulled.
No, we wouldn't have been pulled. But it did get to a point where 30-something pitches in the first inning, you're thinking in the back of your mind already, going into the second, we're only down 1-0, I believe, right? But you're also thinking like, man, all right, if this is what we're going to get, if he's 20-plus and we get some runners on, like, I don't want to pull him, but, like, this is going to be tough because we need this win, and I know where he's gone after he's thrown 30 pitches in an inning. I don't think that was a thought at all with Skeens last week or 2 weeks ago. And that kind of shows you the difference in those spots right there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he was essentially trying to fake it as an ace, and that's no slight on him. It's like, if that's the hand you're dealt, you try your best to, like, I guess kind of act in that role, you know? And he was able to do it against early competition, and it's probably unfair for us to make the comparison to Skeens because he looks like he's going to be a first-rounder, probably could be a top-5 pick, will be a top-5 pick. Blake Money isn't that, but seeing him find a role where it feels like he can operate, that just makes your staff a little bit. It gives you so much flexibility.
I'll say it like this, and I mean this as respectfully as possible. I don't think there's a single pitcher on that staff, senior or freshman, that if Jay called him into the office and gave him the baseball and said, "Hey, you're pitching Friday night," they would be like, "No, coach, I can't. I don't want to do this. I can't do this." They would all walk out of there and be like, "Well, here you go, bro. Nut up. What's up? Let's see what you got." Everyone's gonna take the ball in those situations. Blake, because of his stuff, because of his ability, was the person that was dawned upon last year. It just didn't work out for him in that spot. I think right now he's pitching in a spot in situations that suit him more. And I think if he can start to pitch well if he can continue to pitch well in these situations, then you may see his confidence rise and rise and rise. And then now you may start getting him to pitch above his ability. I think that'll come later in the year if he keeps pitching this way.
It's almost very similar to what happened to I just had his name. He went from the Hess, Zach Hess, when he went from closer to starter. It's like, how often can you pump the gas? Like how often can you go 100? Because when Hess came in, it was literally balls to the walls to get 3 outs, and this stuff is electric.
Yeah.
You put him in the starter role, he has to dial it back. Now he's not the same pitcher. If you put money in those situations where it's you need to get me 3 outs, he's going to thrive in those scenarios because he does like the moment.
Yeah.
But to ask for him to try to temper it and get me through 6 innings without being able to, I guess, feast off your emotion a little bit, like that plays a huge factor into how Hess pitched, how Money pitches. Like if you get into those spots where you can go balls out, I'm going to throw 20 pitches, and you're going to get the best 20 you got from me, then you can pull me.
Yeah.
That's where I think he'll thrive.
Yeah. And I think, and that's another thing too, I think something that probably hit him last year was, all right, I go one time through the lineup and I get to the 2 and the 2-hole hit me hard. I think he struggled in trying to find a way to get him out a second time around. I think he struggled to try to find a way of how am I going to pitch him knowing that he just hit this. Whereas now he's in a role where it's, like you said, I'm getting 3 maybe to 6 outs. Well, 3 to 6 outs, I'm not seeing the same guy I saw. So I'm giving you everything I got right here.
Don't matter if I'm tipping or not.
It doesn't matter because you ain't going to see me again, and see you tomorrow. Right? And doing that right now has had him pitch to a tune of, he's got 4 innings pitched on the season. He's got a 2.25. He's got 7 strikeouts in 4 innings. He's only given up, he hasn't even walked anyone. And he's got an opposing batting average of 143 against him. That's the type of stuff that he has.
Exactly.
That's what I believe. If you keep giving him these situations, he is going to grow into a role to where he's actually pitching above his actual ability. And then that's when it's going to be dangerous because that is an embarrassment of riches when it comes to arms in purple and gold for him right now.
And not only arms, when you look at the lineup and how they're able to put this thing together where if you'd have told me before the year, obviously and Hunter Fournette says in the chat, and he did say this, he thought Kling would be a starter at some point in the year early on, like after he went to the scrimmages and watched him. You said the same thing.
He was the freshman I looked at.
Right. But then for them to have so much, I guess, for Beloso to be able to come in and hit the way he has, for Tommy to get hurt, you're still not hurt by him not being able to play third base. So DH, and then it shows the flexibility in the lineup. They have so many spots and so many players that you can kind of put anywhere, to where it feels like the offense is just as lethal as the pitching staff is, and they're playing great defense right now. So it's all I know it's early.
They've played unbelievable defense so far through the year, and you have to really tip your cap to that because it's very obvious they addressed that, and that was a focal point of what they wanted to get done and make sure it was, I guess, intact going into the year. And it's been awesome to see him do that. Obviously, like you said, it's early in the year. You're only 12 games into it. But it's been good to see it. But secondly, like you're talking about, they have so many bats and they are so deep on that side to watch someone like a Paxton kind of be able to hit towards the bottom of the lineup and kind of ease himself into this lineup for him to start feeling comfortable and kind of going. For you to be able to put Ben Lepolt in right now, who we all know is a very, 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 very good defender. He is very young as a hitter right now. I do think he's going to grow in that role a little bit, but to know that we have very, very good bats on the bench right now, but we're going to choose defense in this situation in that lineup because of what he can do defensively, lets you know just lets you know how deep they are. It lets you know how much they believe in what can come off the bench and give help, and how much help and how much production they're already getting at the top of that lineup.
God, they're deep. Yeah, because DePaul he feels like a second baseman when you see him play. And then for him to be able to transition, play well defensively at third. Obviously, they've been asking him to not put any pressure on him on offense. But that's what you get when you have somebody They have three catchers that can bang, so you don't even have to worry about that position.
Ethan
Milazzo-
Fry's hitting. I get it, dude. He's only got 9 at bats, official at bats on the season. But Ethan Fry's hitting 444 on the year. He's 4 for 9 on the year. He don't play every day.
Doesn't get to play.
When he gets in, you can almost flip a coin in his own base. That's pretty impressive. And everybody said, like, if you see him walking around, you're like, that guy's got a chance. Because he's physically imposing. He's a big kid. He's a good catcher. He just happens to be sitting behind a catcher who came in doing even more somehow. I don't know how, but somehow. And he's played well throughout the year, too.
And then you can still go defense for offense with Milazzo. I know that who they have playing, Neal back there has been. I mean, he got a little banged up.
You're sitting here with Brady Neal playing every day right now. You have Ethan Fry right there on deck behind him. You got Milazzo, who's a great fielding catcher behind it. And then you still somehow, if shit were to hit the fan and everything happened, you still got Hayden Travinski back there.
Right.
It's crazy what they have right now. But here we go. This thing is started. We got a 3-2 count to the first guy right here. So we'll see how he adjusts and to this role right here again, because it's been a while since he's done this. And he goes 3-2 breaker. See you later.
Gave him the
You got 1 out. See you. That's a good start for him right there. I like it.
But if you're a leadoff hitter, that's still a good at bat. You saw 6 pitches.
No, that's a great at bat for him.
At least.
Sit down there.
Yeah, later. Let's go.
Sit down there.
In the golds.
And just to remind everybody too, don't forget we do have Ask Mikey and Mitch coming up later today. Put the questions in, get them in there. We're gonna get that rolling later on in this thing right here.
We got it. We have a couple of questions that have come in through Twitter, but get them in on YouTube. That's much easier for me instead of me having to go wrangle the Twitter and put them up. So get your questions into the chat, and I will post them, and we will get your answers. And we'll find a way to give them to Mikey if he doesn't want to be an adult and hop on his phone and answer the video call at dinner. Working here.
Does he throw another one? Finally threw the heater. Hey, he likes that slider, and it's good. He throws it a lot. He threw the 3-2 breaker to him, and he threw the first 2 pitches to this guy were both sliders. And then he finally went back to the heater right there. I wish we could get the velo gun on this thing right now on the feed. That'd be good. That'd be cool.
I don't think you get that for midweek. You got to go to the game for that.
I could go for that. Oh, went right back to it. See you. Slide ball again.
I mean, that's been his out pitch, though.
It's a very good pitch for him. And he throws it well. He can land it wherever he wants and kind of whenever he wants. It's his go-to.
If you're throwing it 3-2, coach, the first
3-2, the first hitter of the game. That was a 4-pitch at bat. He threw it 3 times in that at bat.
Yeah.
He ain't afraid to throw it. If you get a heater from him and it's in the zone, you can probably bank on that being the last one you get from him in the zone.
The first of many seniors.
Oh, they got the announcers on. I don't want to put the sound on though.
Oh, okay, we can't do all that. We the sound, baby.
Yeah, I don't want to get us in trouble. I don't know where it's coming from though. I should probably know that.
There it is, right back to it.
I mean, if he goes 3 up here, right back
Roll
to it
it back
again.
again.
Oh,
Yeah,
stick
sorry.
with it.
Stick with it. Make a play. Knock it down. That good.
There you go.
Very good play right there. Quick inning. Quick work.
Quick
1,
work,
2, 3
play.
up, and now you can see the bats coming up. Look good though, man. Worked fast. Worked quick. Threw a lot of strikes.
Isn't that crazy how one at bat can change the whole, like the trajectory of an inning? If he gets
Oh,
a
yeah.
walk there, now he has to come out the stretch.
If he gets on there, we might have another little bloop hit. Now we're looking at first and third, and all of a
you
sudden,
fumble it at third.
there you go.
But that's impressive for him to be able to deal with that. And I'm still, I mean, if you're Lamar, you have a guy that's up there at 3-2. You're thinking fastball the entire way.
I'm
And he
sure
just,
that
like,
I'm
breaks
sure
you-
that kid's
yeah.
not much of a power hitter for him. Like,
No,
give me
it's
the heat
mean.
ball. I got to get the heat ball right here. Nope.
Yeah,
No, sir.
I'm more confident in this than that. But good night at the box.
Nice night at the box.
Weather's good. It was hot. It's the first hot day of the year.
It was pretty hot today. It did get hot today. Got a little warm today.
Little garage workout.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I had to
How'd that go?
Sweat that out.
Midday?
Midday.
Ooh.
2 p.m.er.
Ooh, you got all the heat
I
there.
did. Ate it up. Trying to get back in shape. Got the old.
I'm
folks in the
surprised.
stands.
I don't know if we get our late crowd coming or not. My man's over here eating. He got food on his lip and everything.
Oh,
Get that!
God,
Get that out of there.
That had to be a scene.
Oh,
I mean, that's the only safe thing you can eat at the ballpark, right? You just go for seeds and eat them for. Probably can get like up to, I don't know, what's the whole pack of seeds, like 500 calories just from nothing.
Oh yeah.
But you're working over there. I'm awake.
Hey, are you a seeds or gum guy?
Gum in the game. Because, well, y'all don't have to worry. Well, I guess you did have to worry about this later in your career, but the turf.
Yeah.
Can't chew seeds on the turf, whatever, but always with gum.
Who cares?
Gum
Who cared
first.
about that? That was really a thing? I used to chew seeds on the turf every day.
Well, you're a professional. A high school kid's going to get in trouble.
No. Just keep spitting them.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know, Coach.
Oh, vacuum it up.
My bad, Coach. I didn't know. Let's do it again tomorrow.
The umpire's going to get me with it's one strike. As much as they're involved in the game now.
See what we got here on the other side of this thing.
So we have Dugas, Morgan Cruz.
Yeah.
I love Trey. This 2-hole.
Got a lefty going.
It's interesting that Beloso gets. I guess he's so hot, you have to keep him in.
Oh God.
A lot of these guys they tend to have been facing.
Oh God.
No, kind of looks the same.
This is a very unique delivery. I'll go unique. That's a good one.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that ball's in low. Right at him. Good swing though. Loud noises. Loud out.
I don't think he's hiding that thing too well. That leg's out.
That thing found the barrel real quick.
I mean, he's all the way opened up, and there's throwing you a watermelon.
Yes.
Do you think they move him out the leadoff spot? Just because the power. I mean, they put Cruz there last year, so I guess
I like him there.
Yeah, I do
like
too.
it there. You get a very, very, very professional at bat. He's been really good at setting the table up there. Ooh, that ball.
Oh.
Wow. That lettuce is.
World Baseball Classic.
Wow.
Which has looked electric. Oh.
Wow. A lot of flair on that lettuce right there. Can't hide him on campus.
No. You can't hide him on camera.
Wee.
I think that was you that did. No, that couldn't have been me.
Oh, yep. No, it was you, baby.
Get to running.
Another good swing, though. 2 quick outs, but 2 great swings. Kind of got to take a pitch here, huh? Yep, there we go. Maybe might want to take a strike here. Guy's only thrown 4 pitches. We got to at least get you up a little bit.
Barreled,
That's what we can't get you out of here in 4 pitches.
Well,
you might be here all day.
Yeah, his butthole is getting tight right now. Yeah, I mean they just pitch around him with 2 outs.
Yeah, I would imagine Dylan will probably take until he gets a strike right here, just to kind of make him throw some pitches.
I think he's going to chase one out this zone here because he gets antsy.
No, he's taking. I told you.
Yeah, I just have seen him. That's his only if there's anything to complain about, he presses a little.
Yeah,
but
he might
he's not getting pitched to.
He might be getting the take from the dugout right now. I mean, I would. If I was managing in that situation, I would tell you, I don't care how good you are. The last thing I want is for you to hit a ball at 110 and it's right at someone.
Like just happened.
And we're coming back in the dugout and he's thrown 5 pitches this inning.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
Right.
More, not even so much off of I don't want you in the game that long, but I kind of want my pitcher to get a little bit more of a rest.
I was about to say, Little hasn't even sat down yet.
Yeah, like I need him to sit. I need him to get a little bit more of a rest. So like I'd see the same thing here. I'd be telling you, I need you to at least take. He may not make him take until he gets a strike, but he may make him. No, Tommy up there swinging. And that goes to show you right there. If he didn't make him take, is that actually there, or is that on there? Oh, I thought that was there. I'm about to say.
I was about to power now.
What? I thought about to say Superdome.
I said we're about to go straight to
See
Mikey
that's
and
a
Mitch.
little bit. I'm surprised Tommy did that there, just because of how he's gotten into a groove a little bit lately. I thought he would have been a little more.
You walk somebody on 4 pitches, it usually takes you to get one again.
Maybe. Depends on what those 4 pitches look like. If they ain't anywhere close, yeah, coach, I'm gonna take it. Yeah.
And none of those were close against Cruz.
Yeah. So Tommy aggressive.
Now he probably has the green light again, I'd imagine.
No, he's got a green light. 100% he's got a green light.
You
Good.
just can't find the zone.
Good. There you go. Hone it in a little bit. There we go.
It's a very repeatable delivery.
Buttholes and elbows.
Good Lord.
You like that? I wonder what his velo is. Oh boy, that ball smoked. That ball was smoked.
Who's scoring? Cruz is motoring.
That ball was absolutely smoked. That's a great base running there. I love it. Rolling on contact there.
Yeah, but you talk about that all the time. But it's usually with Cruz where they can't get a feel for how far it's actually been hit.
Tommy's been on. He's been showing. See, Cruz has got. They're both long through the zone, obviously. Tommy's been literally like very, very, very exclusively backside right now, and it's not even like backside gap. He's been literally right at the right fielder, right? But the same thing, like he keeps going. He wasn't going to get to that ball. Cruz has got guys like stopping their feet, and then they're like, oh, no, wait, they're still going.
He overthrew me.
Yeah.
I guess he just because he does that because he hits it with so much velo, like he gets like backspin on it. Like that's what they always.
Well, he's really squaring the ball up, and he's really instead of like clipping the baseball, he is literally hitting the back of the baseball and driving through it. So now it is like
Creating
taking
rise,
off. There you go.
yeah.
It's not overspinning when you like kind of clip it. It's literally creating ride because you've literally flushed it. That's basically what he's doing.
Yeah, they always said to look at least. Jeff Lamont, give him a shout out. Former first baseman for the Tigers, national champion.
There we go.
He would say, look at Sheffield's swing and how he, like, almost, it feels like he's chopping at it, but he's like, no, he's doing that on purpose. He's creating spin off the bat for it to be able to take off.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, 1 run in. I wish I'd have seen the spread.
What was the spread? You didn't check it at all?
It wasn't up. I only checked Caesars, though. I guess I could
Or
start.
over under? Neither.
I guess I could start checking other sites, but let's see if somebody in the chat had it because it's usually DraftKings has it. LSU minus 5.5.
5.5. What did we say the other day? Mikey said 3, or did you say 3? I was thinking like 4. 5.5.
Last he checked, LSU minus 6.5, so we're pretty much all over it. And it doesn't help for these pitchers dealing with this lineup for them to be not very, they're not getting ahead in the count at all. They're pitching from behind, and every time you have to do that, at some point something's got to give. You get men on first and second, now you're down 1-0 again to Jordan, who could put one out the ballpark anytime he wants. Like, this is just a bad spot to be in.
Oh, yeah. He knows. I think the guy's pressing a little bit, too. Like, this is a big situation for him. He can get out of this right here. It would give them a great opportunity kind of moving forward.
Oh,
right
yeah.
here.
It's totally
the last thing
different
they
game.
want is a crooked number going up in the first inning in a situation where they came in with a lot of energy and a lot of confidence going right here. I'm pretty sure they don't want that. Did they have the bullpen? Did they have the bullpen rolling
They've got
already?
action going.
I said they have the bullpen rolling already. So if you didn't think this was an important game for the Cardinals, that should tell you a lot right there. Where he's 17, 18 pitches in and first inning, and Will's got the bullpen going. Will wants this game. They want this game.
This is their only trip here, huh?
I would imagine so, yeah. Unless they came back for a possible regional / super regional, yeah.
No, yeah, it's their only trip. Apparently they haven't played anybody this year.
No, they beat Texas A&M.
Oh, 7-4.
And they beat somebody else too. I think
Kansas State.
Kansas State, there you go.
Pennsylvania took 2 of 3 from them. And Oakland. I mean, I imagine they're playing some ball in Oakland. Professional team there. Weather's nice.
They beat A&M. That's all I needed to know.
That's take 1. Same thing for Iowa.
A&M was on that short list of teams you could probably bet on for a possible national championship. So I would imagine you beat them, you're not
too far off of being good.
There you go.
3-2 big pitch.
3-2 count, huge pitch right here.
I mean, he has to throw a fastball, right? Or I guess he can't throw anything first strike. Yeah, he leaves it up. Now he has to restart.
I can't tell if that was a breaking ball he couldn't finish or if he actually left
I don't
up
know.
a heater right there. Does he
Now
pull
you
him
got
right
your boy
here?
Brady Neal.
No, he keeps him in there. This may be his last hitter, though. I can tell you that. Bases loaded. We got the bullpen going. He's got a lefty going here. We have Paxton on deck, which is another righty. This might be his last hitter here.
Regardless.
Regardless, I don't think so. I think if he gets out, he comes back. If he doesn't get out, like this, we'll see. Actually, he may have another one just because of it was a one pitch and that ball wasn't hit well. So he may have another hitter here. But I wouldn't be surprised either if he got pulled. I would be surprised. Which we talked about that with Brady. We wanted to see more aggressive in situations where he had runners on. So I'm actually happy that this happened.
I don't think anything changes if he catches that. There's nowhere to go with the ball.
No, he would have to have caught that in the air.
call the old do or die.
Yeah, there you go. He's still on. Heater. It's low-key maybe kind of up, but whatever.
I mean, we talked about this last game. Sometimes that umpire gives you a little something.
Kind of, yeah. I think he's trying to move it along a little bit here.
I mean, that's tough.
It's kind of guiding that changeup in there. It's almost like he was trying to place it. Got to throw it a little bit.
Well, you're at 25 pitches, bases loaded up against this lineup.
Like so he tried to throw it twice in a row. Like if I'm Paxton right here, he ain't throwing another changeup this whole at bat. We can go ahead and throw that one out the window right now. So now I'm sitting here on heater and breaking ball. And the last breaking ball he threw, I'm pretty sure he left it way up. I'm sitting dead red right now.
I ain't taking.
Right now. There it
was.
and that's how you get yourself in trouble, like as hitters sometimes. And young hitters, old hitter, doesn't matter. You got to understand, like I got to know what I'm looking for, and I got to be able to hunt that pitch because I may not get it again.
You're not going to see it.
And then now he goes back to that.
Yeah.
That you missed. That was the pitch you had right there. He when he goes change up in the dirt again. And you just saw him that last at bat. If you're watching, he went 3-2 breaking ball, and he couldn't throw it for a strike. So you know right now he doesn't have much confidence in those pitches in a situation where he needs another strike. It's a 2-1 count. I'm sitting dead red, realizing that if I get a pitch over the plate here, it's time because I may not get that again. He got it, took it. Next thing you know, you get slider.
Because there's no chance, or at least there's a small chance, and as the hitter, it's almost in the back of your head like, that was my chance to make a dent in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not going to see back-to-back fastballs after he just showed you one. He's going to take another chance because he knows he's not going to get away with it twice.
You basically let him off the hook when you took that heater because you put him back in
you
the
open
count.
up the chessboard again.
There you go. You put him back in the count. You put him back in a situation where he can kind of have you guessing just a little bit at least. At least just a little bit.
And that's what I think a lot of people don't realize is how much hitters are thinking up there.
Yeah. So and that's what people are like, oh, you were guessing up there. No, I wasn't really guessing, but I'm over here using like
I'm eliminating
probabilities. Like
yeah.
I'm going through the process of what I might and or might not be getting. So when I'm on it, I'm on it. And if you I got to a point where understanding for me, and I don't know how many other hitters do it. There is a good amount of hitters that do it, but like I was always, I'm sitting and I'm timing myself up dead red heater every pitch. Mm-hmm. I'm as stubborn as they come to staying on the heater. But for me to hit off speed, for me, what I had to do was I had to tell myself, all right, be ready for the heater. Don't let him flip some nonsense in here right now. You may be getting a breaking ball right here. Don't let him flip it in here and just take it. So it was basically like, all right, well, I'm timed up and I'm ready for the heater and everything's geared up for heater. But when you see it flip or you see spin or you don't see that velo out, don't give up because if it's there, you can still hit it. That's how I got to myself to hitting breaking ball as opposed to, oh, let me sit on the breaking ball and just hit the breaking ball. Because what if you don't get that there? What if you do get the heater? Or are you just not in the game?
You missed your opportunity.
Yeah, you're not there. So that's why I didn't want to be.
It was always think fastball and adjust.
There you go.
Because if you're, especially, I'd imagine for what y'all faced, and especially what baseball looks like now, where it's coming in 101, 103 with everybody in the league.
Now, I'm about to say, now look, some of these guys, where you get the 101, 103, and especially if they got another pitch that they can throw for strikes like consistently, you're not guessing, you're sitting. Mm-hmm. Like I'm kind of, and look, sitting doesn't mean I'm sitting the whole at bat. I could be sitting from pitch to pitch. What I'm trying to get, right? I could be sitting here saying like, well, he's throwing both of these for strikes right now. How is he doing it? All right, blah, blah, blah. All right, I'm sitting on this pitch thinking I'm going to get this. All right, boom, boom, boom. He's throwing it twice. I'm not going to get that again. So just go ahead and get something on something else. Like you start sitting on different pitches and stuff like that. That's what a lot of guys do.
Yeah, especially when if you face somebody like Aroldis Chapman in his prime, if he throws two wipeout sliders like he's throwing it again, or he's going to go up with a fastball and come back. And you're like, I feel awful.
Well, about to say, how great is it to be up there like saying like if you had some kind of history with them, or if you didn't, like just if you knew what you were doing. It's easy to sit on the couch and watch a game on TV and see a left-hander come up against Aroldis Chapman and first pitch of that bat, Aroldis Chapman sit here and he throws a 99-mile-an-hour heater and it's middle away and the hitter doesn't budge and then you're like, well, what are you watching? You got to swing the bat. And he'd be like, hey, bro, I can promise you right now, he was probably sitting on something else Like, there's no way I'm getting that right here, so I'm just not even going to try to get myself into that right now. I'm sitting on something else. I'm looking for one specific pitch because if I get it, I'm not going to miss it.
Little catcher's interference? What happened?
I think one of them got hit on the backswing, actually.
Good move by the old umpire there.
Yeah, that's a little feel right there by the umpire. Give him a little. Either the backswing or the foul ball hit him, I think. The
glove was just hanging off. All right, there you go. Pitcher doing you no favors. Here, take one to the gut real quick.
Oof.
Something hurt.
You didn't get the call on that.
Oh, Siri. Siri.
What Siri? That's called malfunction right there.
Update.
Hey, what? Ooh, threw it again.
I mean,
he loves throwing that pitch.
I mean, that's his go-to pitch.
He loves throwing it.
That's his get me. Like, it's almost like it could be a get me over, or if you're not thinking it, it just falls off the table.
Yeah, he loves throwing it. I was surprised he threw it again right there.
Going to the well one too many times.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 2-0. But, you know.
So here we go. We got a runner on. What is it? Nobody out? Or is it one?
Yeah, 1-1. 2 outs.
Oh, 2 outs. Yeah, 2 outs.
You had the pop up, and then the ground ball to third.
Got to get a new ball right there. A little dirt ball over to first. I thought he threw that kind of low. Right into the dirt.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying for the from the pickoff.
Yeah.
Sometimes I thought you wanted him a little scuffed.
Maybe. Unless you're already a guy with a lot of movement, you're like, I don't know where this is going to go. But Cade actually called for it instead of him, so.
Trust your caddy.
There you go. 1-0 count right here is a hitter.
And you got 2 outs. You're at 24 pitches.
See, he just threw it twice there and he didn't have it, right?
Well, that's so go back to what you're talking about earlier. You're not looking for that.
Knowing
pitch
how
now.
much he's thrown it, in my mind, I'd be like, hey, I'm sitting dead red, but because he keeps throwing it, don't let him flip this one in there. And he threw it again. See what I'm saying?
It's almost like he has 2 different versions of it. This one he's obviously overthrowing, but like he has one get me over, and then one that has a little bit of bite to it.
He does. He knows how to bury it when he wants to. Yeah.
And now he's overthrowing it because I think he's still pissed.
Yeah. Are you a green light or a red light for 3-0 hitters?
Depends on who's up there. I'm a big 0-0. It depends on where you're batting the lineup and who you are, but like first inning 0-0, I was always looking to steal a fastball.
As a leadoff guy, or just
no? And like at any point in the game, because I mean I'm 5'6", they're not thinking I'm a threat.
I like 0-0 myself
Because people just want to get one, especially early on. They want to get feel. They're not trying to snap one off on you. I batted second and fifth, and so I was usually in a good spot to get a fastball.
What was that? That was not a heater. He doesn't have a splitty or anything, does he?
No, it looked like he went the other way.
Because that was different. I don't know what that was. Lloyd, did you steal bases a lot or what?
I wouldn't steal per se. I would run a little bit. I was a big take the extra base guy.
Okay, all right.
And so I would just let's see what we can do here. Trying to put a little pressure on the defense.
A little game between the game guy.
A little high school. High school are not very good. You got to make 2 perfect throws.
Finally threw the heater.
Here we go. Gets him out the inning. Easy
We
throw. He stayed on there.
There you go.
You better make sure. Yeah, that would have been an excellent inning if he just flips that thing out there. All right. Good to see him in a little pressure moment. Lose a pitch that he was counting on for the entire inning.
Yeah, lost the feel for it a little bit, but still pitched out of a jam right there. Did what he needed to do. That almost got away from him. I didn't realize that almost got away like that.
Where would you put Dugas? He's an outfielder, right?
Dugas is a utility guy, if you ask me, as far as for glove wise.
Yeah, I mean, because it's not how you draw it up. Get on a knee.
But guess what? When you swing it that way,
you can play. Yeah, exactly. That's what
we could find a spot for you.
Who's the guy for the Marlins? Big chested. Dan Ugla, like played second.
Oh yeah.
But the reason he was out there is because he hit 30 yaks a year.
He was on the field for his bat,
Yeah.
100%. He wasn't terrible at defense. Now that does happen. What you got to understand a lot of times too at the big league level, probably less now than what it's been in the past. You'll find guys that can play everywhere, but in the past it's always been like you'd be hard pressed to find someone that was an everyday guy if they couldn't trust you somewhere in the field, game to game, inning to inning. Didn't matter how good the bat was because nobody's bat usually is that damn good unless you're a DH somewhere. Like that's really hard to do, especially before they were doing this DH in both leagues. If you were in the National League, if they couldn't find a place to put you in the field every day, it's going to be hard for you to crack the lineup every day. Now flip it over on the other side. If you were just a guy you were kind of shaky defensively, but you were a 330 scrappy hitter, it's going to be the same thing for you. Why? Well, because my DH is going to have to hit for some thump.
Right.
And so I can't put you at the DH spot, so where does that leave you now? You kind of messes up the whole model of how it would go. So it was hard for guys like that to even kind of crack the lineup. Now all these guys it's almost kind of like turning into basketball where it's like positionless players where everyone can kind of move around a lot. So you're getting a lot more of that.
And you see, LSU's a perfect example where they have players that you can put almost anywhere. Like, and if it's not somebody that you have guys on the bench that can come in and play for you.
Yeah, they have a lot of
matchup.
They got a lot of guys that are really good athletes that are very versatile now. So you can kind of put them anywhere, and like we talked about before, they're so deep it almost feels like it's like a line change, like in hockey.
Yes, team looks a little different than it did back in the last few years.
It does.
Got some big old boys, and Jay hadn't run from that. Like, yeah, I'm not recruiting guys that look like me, except for I think Ben might be the only one. He'll take his hacks though. He'll get up there. He has to feel. He has to feel great when there's nobody on base. I finally don't have to bunt. Feels like he's been getting that bunt call no matter what.
Well, yeah, and I think these on base situations where no one's on base is allowing him kind of an opportunity to feel whatever it is that he's not feeling that's gotten him off to a slow start. And there you go. You got the slider right there down, strike three.
Lefty. There's always one. That's the worst spot to be in too. When you're the guy slumping on the team and everybody's banging, you're just like,
it's a tough field, but that's what we talked about that earlier.
Go fix it with your defense.
Well, in a sense of like if you know who you are and you're being truthful about where you are, it's probably easier for you to play. If he knows that he's not supposed to be the big bat or the bat in the lineup, and don't get me wrong, everyone wants to hit. Like everybody wants to hit. But if you know that's not what you're in this lineup for, it probably will make it easier for him to be able to go back to the defensive side of the ball and not bring those at-bats to that side of the ball. And I would imagine that's what he's done so far because he's been in the lineup a lot and they've played great defense. And he's played great defense. Does Gavin have the 3-0 swing here?
He got Napolt out on, 4 pitches? I would imagine get him a take there. Because as you see, the longer you make this guy go, the worse it gets for him. You don't really have to jump all over him. He kind of gets himself in trouble.
He does. You can kind of really keyhole him and make him not miss and get a heater up right there. See you. So Gavin's on. Walk. Bringing Trey back up, who hit a screamer line drive. It was actually an unbelievable swing right at the third baseman last time.
And you could say the same.
Pulled him.
I think it was second time through the lineup for these guys.
Well, it's going with another lefty. Ooh, we got a righty coming in right now. I'm kind of surprised. I really thought he might get one more lefty right there, especially with the righty on deck. I'm kind of surprised that he pulled him here. Will said he didn't like the contact that he saw from Trey and him last time. That ball came off at about 110 right at the third baseman's face.
Yeah, I'm surprised he let him see Dugas again.
Will said, no, sir, we ain't doing that. Well, he saw Dugas again because there was nobody on.
Yeah, but just the how hard it was hit.
Nobody on.
Yeah, give up a solo.
If he hits up a solo, if he hits a home run and it goes 500, 900 feet, Still 1-0.
Still, yeah.
We're one swing away from being back.
Yeah.
So like it's not that big of a deal.
Nobody does more.
I wonder what the attendance is tonight at the game.
No, it's not TD, bro. Sorry, Stevie's dark. That's not her. It looks like dressing like
That's
her.
definitely not
acting like her.
her.
Do you think every guy that brings their girlfriend to a game knows that the girls are there not to spend time with them?
No, they are. They're definitely.
I'm here to have fun with you, sweetie.
Lloyd, you ever been on the Kiss Cam before?
No, never.
Ever.
I was on the last year. I think I was just on like this camera, and my buddy noticed and I didn't, so I just didn't move. I didn't do anything, and he was like, "I'm telling you, you're on camera." I was like, "No, it's gonna be funnier if I don't do anything. Like if I just don't."
So you just didn't even look at the camera?
I just kept staring straight ahead, and he was like tapping me, and I was like, "That's the only experience on the camera."
So you really don't know that you're on it? Like you didn't even witness it
I didn't even look up at it. No, I just kept.
All you had was word of mouth that I'm on the camera
I was
right
like,
now.
I'm staying straight laced right now.
Yeah, I'd love to know how many people are actually at the game right now.
Look at this crew. What's this? What's he tape in the helmet?
Yeah, there's tape in the helmet. Yeah.
Is that? Oh, you know what it is? Because his hair's so big.
Yeah, sure.
And so he has to make a little.
Yeah.
He has to make sure it stays on. So he probably built in some.
I'm sure the tape's not going to his hair right now.
Built in. No, I'm thinking he built in some width. You know, he like probably put an extra pad in there.
Maybe so. You think that one got like the back fat? That's the one that doesn't really feel that good. If you don't know, there is a spot that it doesn't matter if you are like 1% fat,
right there,
1% fat or 600% fat. It hurts. I could literally give you a very light slap on the back right there, and you can be like, "Yo, hey,
yeah,
there's a spot. I got him right there."
And every coach in the world knows where it is.
Yeah.
Whenever they see you in the morning, it's like we're doing that today.
If you want to really bother somebody, just go up behind him and slap him on that spot right there.
Back.
Huge at bat right here.
Could be.
Because one swing could really blow this thing
5
wide
left.
open. One swing could blow this thing wide open, and it could also blow a Heineken Silver wide open.
Oof. I drank some milk today too. I actually. Oh. That's great base running.
It's a great swing. That's a great run.
Because you got to play a little Olay there for the shortstop.
Nice little RBI single. Weird.
110 off the bat.
Weird.
Almost killed somebody.
Gavin's at second base and he almost didn't get out the way of this ball. That's how hard it was hit. Oh, God. Oh, God, no. I think it actually sped up, too, once it hit the
Did
mound.
a little speed trap. Kind of funny gate. Still on base?
Should be a good time. You better get it quick, though. Tommy ain't playing around. You know Tommy likes to swing.
Right, yeah.
Tommy ain't
But
taking
I know
too
he
many.
didn't even check.
Here you go. Did he? Did he? He did.
We're
Backside.
We're 1 pitch away.
Backside Benny. We got a 6-0 ball game. It's been blown open already in the second inning. Wow. You think he's hot now or no?
Yeah, you think he was
Is it
worth
fair to
bringing
say
in?
he's hot now? He's literally playing pepper with that wall. In and over it right now. That ball is hammered.
Has he pulled one yet?
I'm not sure. You don't need to if he keeps doing that. I can tell you that right now.
Good
That ball was hammered.
Lord. Need to find out something to do for Tommy.
Oh my goodness.
That is.
I mean, that ball's way back too.
Way back. Marucci's.
Way back. I wasn't sure if it was going to stay fair.
If he's going to keep hitting him like that roof's in danger every other day.
Man. That's impressive right there. Cade back in, 1-0 count. Look, you go through a season and you have to show up day in and day out, right? Like that's a given. No one's gonna give you a championship, but we got to really jump off the train of worrying about if they're gonna strike out too much and this and that. Like they are grinding out at bats. I get it. They've had some strikeouts on the year. I understand that, but this team puts together some pretty competitive at bats day in and day out. And if you can't get behind that, I don't really think you're actually looking at what they're really doing right there. They give up that. Cade gets in there right there. He doesn't budge. He doesn't get too many pitches close right there, but there 4 pitches, he's already on base again.
Oh. Blair Beck said, "What's up?" Said, "Play with you in Sugarland."
Oh, wow. Blair Beck. He was roommates with Bregman in Pro Bowl. Ask him about that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was he bouncing the ball then, too?
Beck. That's great. Wow, we got Blair Beck in the chat. Hey, look at that.
Relationships travel coach.
What a guy. Do you think Thompson feels good this year or no? You think he swung it well so far this year?
I think he feels good to be healthy, and the way he started. The offense wasn't ever really an issue. It feels like he almost started depressed last year at the plate because he knew he couldn't get it done defensively. He swings and misses a lot of fastballs, though. He gets a lot of them. But he takes, you got to 0-2 count, you got to kind of cut that swing down a little bit. That's the only thing I would say. But we're not mad at the strikeouts. You're up 6. Take a daddy hack.
Happens from time to time. Brady Neal. All right, here you go. You got to run on first again. We've been talking about, can we get him aggressive early in counts?
Again?
If he gets a pitch to hit, is he aggressive at it again? It's good eye.
Good take.
We'll change up down. I like it. I'm not mad at it. Hitters count. If he gets a pitch, is he aggressive again, or is he going to be passive in this situation?
That's a good pitch.
Backdoor breaking ball. Kind of missed his spot there. Didn't matter. Still caught the plate. It's not a bad take in that situation.
That's when you got to
capitalize. And now he comes back front side. That pitch was actually well executed. Now it becomes tough right here. Here you go.
That's what I'm saying. But you knew that anything inside, you have a little bit better feel for it. It just feels like you can see it a little bit better.
I think he was probably, if I had to guess, he was probably looking for something out over and didn't get it, so he just shut it down.
Now you get that out over. I think he's probably start cheating more on the outside, I'd imagine. Catch him looking.
Wouldn't be surprised to see the changeup come back again right here. He went changeup down. He went breaking ball back door. You went heater in, heater up. I wouldn't be surprised if he came back with one right here.
Oh God.
Oh my.
It's foul, but it's gone.
Yeah.
Marucci, I'm telling you, they're gonna have to start. They need some.
Don't they get these bats checked before every game?
But I'm saying that their roof. They have to call what, Hudco Roofing? Do we have a roofing sponsor? But there's shingles being taken off every game. That would just hit the roof.
Oh no. Oh. Well, you can go ahead and spin on that one. That's not coming back.
I don't think you're seeing it again.
Here it is. Here, I want to speak it into existence. Here goes the changeup again.
I'm gonna say, either that or fastball in, because he kind of locked him up a little bit. You saw 2 straight breaking balls in.
Nope, heater. He did throw it. Missed the spot. That's why he got the bat on it, but he did throw it.
And now you go to your changeup, then back to the heater.
Because he didn't execute, like he didn't throw it in, do you think they go with fastball in again here?
I think
and try to actually get it in there?
How late he was, too, but now I think he goes with your changeup.
What is that?
To get me over breaking ball.
It just kind of floats up there. It didn't break it, didn't do anything. It just kind of floated up there. It's a good at bat he's putting together here.
Yeah.
It's a good at bat he's putting together here. And once again, that's what we talk about. I know, Jordan Thompson had the strikeout, but Here goes another hitter just grinding out another at bat right here. Just making this guy work. Just making him work. Throwing more pitches and making him work.
Oh,
no.
The hair.
Oh, well, we know who made that error.
Beloso's not stealing. He just made him run to second.
I'm surprised he went all the way there. That ball was 20 feet in foul territory.
You don't have to do anything.
Let's just go ahead and watch that one.
Wow, that turf got him, Coach.
You saw those feet? Feet got a little tangled there.
And windy at the box. Well, that'll come back to bite you. You hate to see it, Arkansas. Yep. Good Lord.
See, like if I watch a guy strike out here, I'm gonna be like, hey, good at bat.
You saw 10
I don't know what to
pitches.
tell you.
Yeah.
Good at bat.
Because, it only takes one, but you shouldn't. I wouldn't expect much from a 45. He started staring at him, too. Yeah.
Finally threw it somewhere in the zone.
All right. As they go to commercial, we will go to commercial as well. We will come back. Got to give it a little love to the sponsor. Somebody's got to pay for this thing. So, shout out EFCO. Shout out Assured Partner. Shout out Doe's Eat Place. And Heineken. Also, thought we were going to get one in there. But, since we didn't, we'll play the promo. It hurts me still to this day because it's not the best, but here we go. Get better. Oh, I forgot the game's on the other end.
Hey, turn that down now.
I know, I don't want to get us in trouble.
Have a Heineken Silver for the game, maybe?
I kind of want one now.
You gonna shotgun another one?
You want another? I don't know if you should shotgun because we saw how that went last time. You
I don't know.
won.
I feel like you got to redeem yourself.
I think
know.
so. If you can have a drink, I don't think you should shotgun it.
The way it went,
I'll
I think
enjoy this
I think
one.
you should chug it, but maybe not shotgun it.
the way it went last time, it's
Yeah, I could do. I mean, I
can't
can
sip
do
it.
anything. I know. All right, fuck it.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Go for it. There.
Oh, that was much
There you
better.
go.
1, 2,
Open
Three,
it up a little bit. You know what I
4,
mean?
5, 6, 7, 8,
Okay.
9,
Okay. It's
10,
now it's starting to drip. Now
11,
you're struggling a little bit.
12,
It's pretty good.
13.
13
Not bad.
seconds. I'll give you a
Not
13.
bad.
12 and a half seconds there. How was it? Was it good?
Delicious. You
It was
can't
very
do that
delicious. With a regular one.
with a regular one.
Right.
You can only do that with the silver.
With the silver, why? Because the silver's lighter. It's got
Lighter.
95 calories. It's pretty crisp.
I
So
res-
that wasn't even cold. I know you don't necessarily need a cold beer. That was room temp.
That's
But
the
I respect
fraternity
how
days
quickly
in me.
you turned around and gave me a full sentence. That was quick.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
that.
No
Officer,
doubt.
I'm fine.
Respect that.
You've been, look, you've been
Walk the
around
straight
before.
line, kid.
Yeah.
You've been around before, but
It's just breakfast.
It's a very good beer. It's a
is.
very light beer. It's something that you could
Easy to drink.
easy to drink,
Easy to pour.
yes. But it's something that I think it should be in the rotation at tailgates, especially with LSU baseball coming up. We'll get into some of the LSU baseball conversation.
Here we are, back to start inning 3. We got an 0-2 count to start. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. If he can have a quick inning, you might see him reach through 5 right here. There you go. 3. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good night.
Right.
See you
Don't
later.
call me again.
Another punchy. So he's got 33 pitches here through 2 1/3 innings right now. That number can stay down. You might see him pitch pretty deep into this, or at least deeper than we possibly thought he would be pitching into this, based off where we kind of saw what we thought his pitch count may sit around somewhere today.
Well, that's what I was asking earlier. I was wondering if they would just try to see if they could get him comfortable up there. But now once you get through the first, it just feels like, remember when Poche would struggle in the first inning for God knows whatever reason, and then once he got through the first, he would throw probably 50 pitches in 5 innings, and he's like, all right, he's through 6 1/3 with a win.
There you go. That's exactly what he used to do a lot.
Like if we would have had the
Little single.
test the arm,
Little single out there. A little soft single. Soft line drive single to left field.
how often do you think he's practicing out there as opposed to first?
Trey? I think he probably takes BP in one group. But I think he takes his ground balls and one group live at bat at first, and then he probably goes to the outfield for another group live it and tries to field it live. And maybe at some point probably takes some fungo men or some fungos in the outfield as well. If I had to guess, Trey's probably doing a lot of defensive work throughout their BPs and stuff these days. It's like a splitty or something. It literally just, it's like the table's there and it just falls off the end of it right here.
That's so frustrating. Because it's impossible not to chase.
Then he throws that right behind it, and it's kind of tough to say. Which one are you getting? I don't know if I'm getting the one that's going to fall or the one that's actually coming with some velo and it comes out spinning. He's done a great job so far tonight, outside of maybe two or three hitters, I think, in that second inning, of one, working with pace, and two, just pounding the zone right now. And look at that. Hit the ground ball. Should have been tailor-made.
Oh, shit.
Kind of let that one go a little bit. That was kind of surprising. Really hadn't seen that from him at all this year.
Well, I think it. I don't think it was hit very hard.
It wasn't, but it was hit hard enough to where that should have been an out by at least a good. Yeah, we should have had that out by a ton.
That's what I'm talking about.
Guy got kind of down the line really quick, though. I'll be honest with you about that.
And the Dugas turn is not exactly what you're looking for.
Like I'm not exactly sure. I'm not sure he's actually going to get an error on this because of how quickly that guy got down the line. I think that's actually just going to go as a fielder's choice. Because it almost looked like the guy almost maybe would have beaten it out anyway.
Mm-hmm. That's when you let it eat. You just
which I think I think that's what it ended up doing. I wasn't expecting that at all for that guy to be down the line that quick. So that's why I was like, oh, this is as tailor-made as it gets right here.
Yeah,
but he got down the line quick right
I think Dugas was thinking the same thing where he just, I can get on a knee, do a little flip. No.
There it is. He will literally throw that thing all day.
Yeah.
He will throw that thing all day.
If you're throwing it for a strike like this, Coach, that's why I could see they want to see him in a starter's role, because he can just eat up outs.
Oh, great pick. So apparently this guy does have a little bit of speed right there, because that was a great pick and throw down, and he was still in there by a good step and a half, easy.
Hold on, I had their stolen bases in here somewhere.
And we get a fly ball out. And he's out in the inning.
Yeah, 19 stolen bases and 25 attempts.
So is that?
They've been running a little bit.
44 pitches through 3. He'll be back out. That's what you want to see from him, though. That is what you wanted to see in a situation where you knew he was going to get a chance to start. Is could he be efficient? Could he go out there and pound the zone and kind of control different pitches and show that he belongs in an opportunity like that? And he's passed it with flying colors so far.
And that's why I said it seems like he has like almost two versions of that breaking ball, because one can be a starter breaking ball, one can be, all right, you need me to let this thing rip for an inning and a half or to like get pressure outs.
Yeah.
You're getting the big dog. Like then I have this other one I can flip over, get ahead 1-2, and have nobody on base. He had starter potential for sure.
Oh, no, 100%. I think that's what, obviously people saw from him from the start. You would never imagine that you were going to see a pitching staff as deep as the one that they have this year. And it's crazy to me to think that if they were to have 2 weekend starters go down, that you still have a Thatcher Hurd and or Riley Cooper. You still have a Christian Little or a Ty Floyd that could come in and be a starter on the weekends. How are you that deep? How could you possibly be that deep? But they are.
But that's what...
And this is all, we're saying this all too with a season that was kicked off without Grant Taylor, who we all thought was going to be a shining star out of that bullpen and or wherever else they could have possibly used him this year.
It's an embarrassment of riches at this point. And I know, like I said, we haven't played any really crazy competition, I guess you would say, like the Little Round Rock. You saw Iowa, they're ranked 23rd in the country now. So there were some challenges you lose that game. But this is what you would expect to see almost, where it's just a business as usual. You're 10 running teams whenever it, like obviously new rule, but the way that, like I said, an embarrassment of riches where you can go to anybody at any spot and you feel comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
The only thing that they had to do that Jay should have been worried about if they had any concerns was making sure you got all this talent to mesh, and they seem like they love each other.
Exactly. They seem like they are, chemistry-wise, the team is a together team. You're basically watching line changes happen on the offensive side, and you're watching they're rolling out arms that I've never heard of go out there and just shut down 1, 2, 3 innings. It's a deep squad. Now, like I said, you got to play it, but it's a deep squad.
Yeah. Well, that's when that's when Jay puts a lot of pressure on himself, I'd imagine, offensively, to be able to fight. Like, you have all the pieces, it's just where to put them. 100%. And that's what he's figuring out through all these midweek games.
How do I play them? Where do I play them at? Where can I get them in? Yep.
Keep everybody happy in a sense.
Yep. And that's a great swing right there by Paxton. And he stays hot. Kid's staying hot right now. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Staying hot.
Not missing
that.
That heater this time.
No, we got the breaking ball there, but he got it in a advantage count and didn't miss it. But
let this man swing. Oh, Paxton can roll a little bit.
I like to see him swinging right here.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, you're gonna need him to get hits, and you're gonna need him to kind of, I guess, feel it if he's gonna play at all. I'd like to see him swinging it right here, especially with a 6-0 ball game. I'd like to see him swing it. Do I think it's? I don't think it's Bush at all that he's bunting. I mean, we're only sitting in the third inning. Well, we're only sitting here in the third inning. It's not. It's whatever. But I would like for him. I would like to see him swinging it right here.
I agree. Sometimes you just need one.
100%.
There you go.
I do like that he's still staying quiet up there. He doesn't look jumpy. He doesn't look anxious. He doesn't look nervous. He's just got to find it.
So I'd imagine this is who they wanted to play. That's why they're on the kid from Kansas. They got Tennessee in trouble.
That's going to get, right at him.
God. I mean, sometimes when you can't find it, Coach, everything goes
I'll take
wrong.
the swing. I actually thought that was going to get through, and they had him play perfectly.
They had played up a little bit because of the bunt.
Mm-hmm. Also in the perfect spot, too. They could have been, Yeah. They had him played perfectly. That's a great play defensively.
Feel for him.
Happens. 2 outs there. Was Paxton moving on the pitch right there? Was that why he was so close?
I think he would have to have been, right? I mean, he was the third baseman was in.
Maybe not. Probably not.
We're trying to see what he had. 308 at VCU. Been to Polt 167 here. Not the best.
I mean, I would imagine he didn't get here by mistake. And that's what I said. Like the bat's got to get going. He's got to start to get a feel for what it is, right? Yeah, exactly.
Even swings like that, sometimes that'll get through it.
God. Oh, God.
That'll help when you have everybody in the lineup pounding.
Very nice swing. Very nice double. 2 outs double. They take you to heaven. Mm-hmm. Take you to heaven. What do you get out of Trey right here? We got a runner scoring position. Because we're at the point right now where it needs to be business as usual, right? Like you need to see guys come into situations like this, and I don't care if it's 6-0 or nothing, where you need to see them have productive at bats. You need to see them
2 out runner scoring position.
Put together a good, strong at bat right here. So this is a key, and I'm sure this is something Jay is locked in on right now because these at bats matter.
Mm-hmm. He'll let you know if it's a ball now.
You sure? I think he was out of there before he was even in the zone. He's always had a good eye, though. He's been very good about his play discipline is pretty much some of the top you'll see in the country.
It almost gets him in trouble because he gets frustrated with some of the calls that are made. He's like, I know that's not a strike, and then you see him start chasing.
His plate discipline and his ability to just be a bat to ball guy, as they're so high that they have been to a fault part of his game in a sense of he's gotten himself out on pitches he should be trying to drive or pitches that he should be letting go, just because he knows that, I got a great eye and I can put bat to it, so he does. I would like to see him Maybe take those. Maybe take bigger swings at balls over the middle of the plate to where he can actually start driving the baseball like we know he can. And that'll be a double down the line if it stays fair. And it doesn't. Just foul.
It's foul.
Barely just twisted foul. Almost dropped that one in there down the line. I think that's something that was a focal point for him over the offseason and something he's come into the season trying to do a little bit more, which is not, in a sense, throw away an at-bat by being early in a count and trying to just put the bat on a borderline pitch.
Right.
Take it. Strike one. Who cares? Get you something over the plate that you can drive as opposed to just putting balls in play.
He almost takes offense to a ball getting by him.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he, or at least he did in the past. Grind it out.
See, that's part of his skill set. Like to be able, like a lot of people swing and miss at that.
And spoil that and try to get yourself to another pitch.
Apparently the tape is because the helmet's broken from last year, but he's superstitious.
Oh.
Put it back together. Fix me, doctor.
Spoil it again.
I mean, the third baseman wants nothing to do with the foul ball.
No, I think that's one thing too about I've tried to preach this to kids, and it's fun for me when I see hitters that are able to do it, because the pitch before, even that pitch right there, it'd be so easy to kind of just let me reach out and try to put the bat on it, as opposed to let me trust myself, let me stay long through the zone, and if I'm late and I'm not on it, that's a great swing right there. It's not going to go anywhere, but that's a great at bat. Just didn't get it done. But you leave that bat with hard contact, good at bat. Just didn't get it done. But what I was saying is you go through at bats like that where you're long in the zone, right? And you don't really change that. So when I get to 2 strikes now, if I'm late because I'm seeing baseballs deep and I'm fouling them off, well, it's a lot better than me just throwing the bat head out there, poking it and rolling it over to second because I didn't want to strike out, right? In the sense of I made you throw more pitches by me fouling these off instead of me being an easy out and an 0 for 1. Catcher's reaching back. Umpire's putting the ball in the catcher's hand. Catcher's throwing it back to the pitcher saying, hey, I want you to execute again. That's tough to do. When I keep spoiling these pitches off because I'm long in the zone, you got to keep executing. When I just say, hey, I'm going to give myself up because I got something that's close and let me reach the bat out there and put it in play. Now it's hit weakly to the second baseman. It bounces 3 times. He slaps it twice in his glove and throws it over. That's an easy out. You are always out.
Yourself, yeah.
You're always out. That's never going to be a positive for you. You know, and so like I try to tell kids that, like, hey, get used to getting comfortable with letting the ball travel. Why? Because the longer it can travel, the more comfortable you can get with being long in the zone. You're only giving yourself a better chance. And watching guys like Trey do that is refreshing to me because he's been doing it for a long time. And that's why he's such a good hitter.
Yeah, because he has both. You just have to marry the two.
That's why he's such a good hitter.
He has to. That takes a little bit of. There we go. Like, you have to trust one or the other at one point, you know? Like,
yeah.
you have to know when to trust which skill set. And because he has both, it makes it almost, he can get himself in a bind a little bit.
Yes, indeed.
And because at the end of the day, there's no real difference between you striking out and swinging and missing with a good swing as opposed to you hitting one off the end of the bat to third and getting thrown out at first.
Yep.
So you still want to be a threat. I need those 15, 20 dongs. Get my prediction right.
Lloyd's been talking about this for a while.
He's going to be almost hit 2 tugs the other night.
I need you to leave.
That wind blown out.
All right. He might have poked him there.
That camera's awful high, Coach.
I said he might have poked him there. Got him. I thought it got more off the end of the bat, but obviously he got enough of it. That'll be the first run of the game.
Somebody had to do it. If you're going to give one up.
Threw that 1-0 breaking ball over the plate, and it never came back. Good swing. See how he bounces back here. See what he got. Because he hasn't given up pretty much anything all year. So let's see. I mean, that might actually be the first run he's given up all year. That's credited to his name. Let me see.
I know. I think his opponent's
Yep, that's the first earned run he's given up all year.
Yeah, they're batting 110 against him. Well, let's see the wheels. Watch each other.
Well, but
we
make a play in the gap there. Beautiful. Love it. obviously there was some communication there too, so that's great too.
You think, what a sponsor. Did you see that? Tanks a lot?
Uh-huh.
I wonder how they came up with that.
I don't know.
But this is great center field, right field communication. Center fielder calls it, you got to buck off.
Got out of there.
And great hand-eye by, obviously, deep. He's 1-1.
And look,
But that thing disappeared on him for a second.
It did. Listen, let me tell you, that ball's hit really well too. What I like right there, watching Christian, you see guys, same thing here. You see guys give up homers, and next thing you know, you see them nibbling around the zone and not really wanting to challenge and get in the zone. Ball got hit hard, 2 pitches in the next at bat. Christian still pumping balls in the zone. Next at bat, first pitch in the zone. That shows you a lot of
he trusts his stuff.
Well, you get to know the demeanor and the person that's on the mound, really, in those situations. You get to know what they're made of inside, not so much just about mechanics and this and that. Like, hey, this is what you're gonna get. I'm coming at you with it. So what are you going to do with it? You know,
unfazed.
There you go.
Napoleon's getting just having a tough go at it today. My guy.
No, we got guys over there. That's why we make the play. It's a team effort now.
Well, that offense will bleed into defense now. You're over there just thinking about your last at bat.
It will. It does. But that's what I talked about earlier when I was mentioning if he understands.
You can bat.
No. If he understands what his role is, right?
Who played third? Who came in the College World Series for y'all?
Derek Helene.
Yeah.
He was a big swing guy, but he was nasty on defense.
That's what I'm saying. He was playing mostly for his defense.
Nasty on defense.
Obviously made a great,
he was
huge
nasty
take it to,
what we got here?
Oh,
God. Do it. That's an unbelievable play, just a little too late. I feel like you see that play happen so much in the big leagues, and it's always an out because you just don't get that kind of speed running down the line. You still get guys really running. That's a great play right there. That's a great play right there.
He probably knew he topped that thing too.
Like that guy hits that ball and he's coming out. He's like, I gotta get this hit.
Yeah,
I gotta get this hit.
I'm on TV.
You get a lot of guys. You get a lot of guys in pro ball that hit that ball and they're so mad.
Yeah,
you're running down the line. Next thing you know, it's on ESPN's top 10 plays.
Thank you. You see what the Cardinals rookie shortstop or prospect? Another one right at you.
There you go. He out of there. Inning over. Hey, so 56 pitches through 4. This is where it'll get interesting at. I wouldn't be surprised at all if you possibly maybe saw the bullpen get rolling if first hitter gets on next inning coming up in the 5th inning. Because I just don't think he's that stretched out right now, so I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of got somebody going for him. But I do think at the same time they want him to get this win, which means he would need to get through 5.
Yeah, you gotta get. That's the same rule in college as it is in the pros.
Pretty sure. Pretty positive it's still the same, or should be the same.
Yeah, he's pitched.
He's pitched well.
Yeah, I would say that's probably the thought process. Get him to make sure this shows up and counts for something.
Yeah, he's
can't be a no
really
decision when you give up.
When you've thrown he's thrown.
You've thrown 55 pitches.
Exactly.
Dinner at the ballpark, nothing like it. Diet Coke, popcorn, paper bag. Not even real aluminum foil. It's not even warm. It's $8. Love it. Go home full, eat again. Here's some Doritos, kid. Shut up. Yeah, fish rooting around, smash them all. Jesus Christ. That kid tested for ADHD right now. It's like looking in a mirror. So this is their go-to, huh? This is just what they do for every SEC Network game. We're just going straight crowd shots.
Oh, just literally randos.
We don't have to run commercials. Yeah, you don't get a commercial. The commercials we get from us is from Epco, Heineken, Dozy Place, Assured Partners. We can hit the Seggies here if you want. At 7:40, I don't think we're getting Mikey. Have you heard from the man?
Not saying that he was coming in, not at least.
Yeah, he just said you're all good.
Just roll through a couple questions then. See what we got in there.
All right.
I'll answer. I'll do the task.
I'll do the work. All right. We have 3 so far. Ask him and him. Get your questions in. Get them in the chat. I'll go through the YouTube here in a second after we get these going. First one up. What do you make of all the hit by pitches this year compared to last year? Oh, we should wait. Oh, should we watch Cruz?
Wait a second. We'll answer this after the at bat.
Might be a 740 yug.
It might be.
If I don't have to do
It might be.
If it doesn't happen here, it's not going to happen on the show. It'll happen at home. Come on. Feed him one. I'm thirsty. It's inevitable at this point. Oof. Oof. He has, in the 6-game win streak, 6 doubles, 2 homers, 13 RBI, and scored 9 runs. He's hitting .458. Is that good?
I've heard worse. I've heard of worse.
It's not only the 6 doubles and 2 homers, it's the 9 runs scored.
So
he's getting on base too, and just coming back around. So people behind him are hitting.
6 doubles, 2 homers, any triples?
No triples.
How many hits on the season?
This is just in the 6-game win streak.
Oh yeah.
11 for 24.
In the 6-game win streak.
Yeah.
6 doubles, 2 homers. So 8 of those hits, 11 hits have been extra base hits. What about on the season right now? What are we looking at?
Let's see. I just pulled the win streak numbers.
Don't
do it to him.
I'll pull it to you right here. I got it.
They're not gonna be bad.
19 hits on the season, and 8 of them are extra base hits.
How many games have they played?
12, I think.
How many walks is he about to have?
I don't know. He's on base again. All right, give me the question again. What was it?
Okay.
What was it? One more time.
Off the top, it is. What do you make of the hit by pitches this year versus last year? It feels like they're getting hit a little bit more. Different approach, or just
no? I don't. That I don't know. I think you can tell it's a team that is bought into wanting to be on base. Like that is they obviously hold that at very high value, right? You got a lot of guys not getting out of the way of pitches and getting hit. So I think that's at really high value. I think you're seeing a team who is in the fight a lot, and I think you're seeing pitchers on the other side who understand and almost are pressing, if you will, trying to make perfect pitches because they understand how deep this lineup is. I think that happens a lot of it. I think that's a lot of the reason why you see what you see when it comes to the hit by pitches. And Tommy just missed that pitch. Like, literally just missed that pitch.
Well, I think that they know that if you get on the plate the way that they are, if you're standing a little bit closer to it, that's what Skip said. There's people behind you that if you get on base, then it doesn't have to just be me to get a hit. You know, like if you're not going to walk, I'll get a hit, and you're so confident and comfortable up there.
Exactly. Like I think there's
makes it real tough.
There's
on the
a real
pitcher.
confidence in knowing like this whole lineup is very, very deep. So these guys are literally taking what comes to them on that side of it, and I think the pitchers on the other side of it feel like they have to be so perfect, which doesn't really put you in the mindset of throwing the ball over the plate and letting your stuff work for you. You end up missing bigger than what you want to miss.
No tag. I don't think Four has a very good arm. Oh, where I tag him. I just figured you keep
right in his face. That's so disrespectful.
It was.
Dylan, that is disrespectful.
That's the guy that he had the infield single and then took the bag. So he can get back. I could run too.
He just took it right in his face. It's not a bad swing.
Did you see Cruz? He's like, he just missed that ball. He clenched up. See, in Tennessee, that's how you run bases right there. Great slide. All right, next one up. There's some goofy ones in the chat. We may get to.
What we got here?
Let's see. But from ZMM_225, who do you think will emerge as the closer in SEC play? This obviously is a great question considering what we're seeing right now.
Great question. Oh man, I'm not exactly sure. Like I'm not sure they
power rank your picks.
Like picks?
Like if you had to throw 3 names out there and then
Ty Floyd, Christian Little. I think it's between the two. Now, unless somehow one of them two literally stays, and obviously I think the early candidate for possible staying in the rotation would be Ty Floyd. You might see the dark horse of it maybe be Chase Shores? Maybe. But he hasn't thrown in that capacity yet this year. So I'm not sure that that's what it is, right? My guess, because I've seen them two out of the pen more, would be between Ty Floyd and Christian Little. With the leader in the clubhouse, I think would be Ty Floyd. I just don't know. We haven't seen anyone literally just be the back end of the game guy yet.
No, I mean, I think Christian Little's gotten the most opportunity, right?
Ty too, a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of a little bit of both
and then
of them.
You saw a little bit from Blake Money, not in the end of a game, but just in the spot. But Christian Little's been up in the most pressure situations, I'd say, had come through. Oh.
That's a great pitch.
Yeah.
Up a little bit, but it's a good pitch.
All right, no blood.
So that would be mine. What's your guess?
I like Christian Little back there just from what I've seen. He has an out pitch, which I think is the most important thing, and he still has a little juice on the fastball. If you have two pitches that you can trust, and then, like I said, he has like a get-me-over version of that slider or whatever it is that he can throw in any part of the count to where you can lock. Like, he's never uncomfortable in a 3-1, 3-2.
Right.
I think that's super valuable to have somebody on the back end so you don't put people on base whenever you don't want to for free.
But I mean, and look, we're saying that too, but so if that was the case, I would have thought, hey, you'd sit here and never see Christian Little start a game this year. They'll use him out the long relief and kind of like that spot and throw him in the back. But here he is starting today. They've done kind of the same with Ty, so I just don't know yet. We'll see. Maybe I think Jay did talk about a lot last year, if you remember correctly, that he values those guys being able to have their number possibly called at any time. So, maybe he puts a lot of weight, a lot of stock into that, and, we'll see how that goes. I don't know.
And then you still have – what do you see – this is my question. What do you see them doing with Thatcher the last two outings?
Thatcher is going to be in the weekend rotation. I'd be hard-pressed to believe that won't happen. And that's why I said maybe the dark horse for it is Chase Shores. Not in the sense that he can't be in the rotation.
Some people have starter stuff.
It's hard for me to believe that he's not going to be. Yeah, I mean, he put up numbers as a starter last year, and that's very much known that that's what he was coming here to do. It'd be hard for me to believe that he's going to keep pitching in the middle innings. I mean, in midweek
games. Yeah.
So
he was dominant. Last one here from Twitter, kind of in the same vein. You have one more series until A&M. What would your starting rotation be against Texas A&M? And it's at A&M. Maybe we'll be there. It's sneaking up on us.
Oh, look! First off, I talked about it. Yeah, he's out. So he left the game with 55 pitches. There you go. I said before the game, I was like, hard pressed for me to believe he would start another inning if he got to 60 or 70. I said 60 or 5 or 70 pitches.
Yeah.
He threw 55 and he was done. So that lets you know right there where his pitch count was. It's not off of that's where they felt he was going to get to, and that was going to be it for him for today. So there you go.
It didn't matter if it was in the.
It didn't matter if he was throwing a perfect game right now. I think that was what you were going to get from him, and that was it because he hasn't been stretched out past that.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Keep it.
There you go.
So now you just can use them in the same capacity that you always have.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yep. What was the question again?
A&M starting rotation.
A&M starting rotation. So because they just gave me this answer right here, which I kind of knew it was going to be something like this, but he didn't even get to 65, 70. So I'm going to go Christians in the back of the bullpen. So with that being said, I think you're going to get Paul Skeens. I think you're going to get Ty Floyd, and I think you're going to get Thatcher Hurd.
What do you do with Coop?
Huh?
Where you Coop?
I think you have three really, really solid lefties coming out of the bullpen, which gives you
a matchup than they've had in the last 10 years.
You are a matchup nightmare when teams see you rolling in with three lefties in the bullpen, especially if they are a left-hand dominant lineup. Matchup nightmare, right? I see you with three solid lefties out of the bullpen. I see you with a huge possible eighth inning bridge guy when it comes to Chase Shores as an arm out of the pen. And I think you have Christian Little in the back end of the pen. That's what I see going on right now, which is, to me, that's kind of nuts.
Yeah. And the way that you can almost – you get two different looks a little bit from Shores, who's throwing gas.
Oh, yeah.
And then, Little's up there, but he's got more I think he's got more funk to him than Shores does. So it's still a great way to change what you've seen. You kind of speed him up, slow him down a little bit.
100%. And I think Shores is going to kind of come into his own a little bit more in that bullpen role a little bit. I think he's going to shine more in that role right now. And it's not to say that he hasn't flashed here so far, but I just think that's going to fit him. And I think it's going to allow this team to fit, especially if you can get Ty to get back in that rotation and throw 2+ pitches in the zone and have another one that he can land decently as well too, even though what I'm hearing is that the pitch is really good. I haven't seen and don't know how often he can throw that third pitch for a strike.
Yeah.
When I see that with my own eyes, and I'll be like, he doesn't need to be back in the pen again because that's how good his fastball changeup combination is.
Court Bouillon. I'm actually interested to hear your answer. Jay Mitch, if you gave Lloyd a 20-yard head start, at what point do you think he'd blow his doors off in the 60?
You're 26.
Yeah, I was about to say 20 yards in.
You're 26.
You're covering 20 faster than I'm covering 20.
I'd be yelling at him, unhook the trailer on the way, too.
Yeah,
you're 26, baby.
Whatever.
Right now. We could do this right now. You're 26. That's where it's at.
I caught my workout today. Did you?
I did. Earlier than you, too, so I don't want to hear it.
I'm still fresh. Yeah, let's have a couple booze cruises. I think about around the 60. I did have a buddy in college. I stayed with. I did a radio internship in Lafayette. After my senior year of high school.
Yeah.
And he would get drunk and jump the fence to the UL baseball field and go run the bases by himself.
Why?
Because he played baseball and he played at Delgado for like a year, I guess.
So did he just want to run bases?
Yeah, he just was. So the kid came out at him.
Oh my God.
And it would be like 2:30 in the morning, and we'd be like, "Where's our boy?" And be like, "I know exactly where he is."
Oh
and
my
he would come
God.
back covered in sweat and head to toe dirty. Like
would he slide and everything?
He's sliding into the
Oh my
bases
God.
and like polos
Boy,
and shit.
who is this? Who's this guy?
Kevin Lee wouldn't mind me saying him. I'll see him this
God.
weekend.
Kevin. Come on, guy.
He was
Come on, guy.
He was out there just humping it.
Kevin, if I ever meet you, we're gonna have to have some conversation.
I hope he relapses again,
God.
just one more time. Get him out there.
That's
But
unbelievable.
he would come back like he just played a baseball
Here you go.
game. You're like,
Punched him.
Kev, you didn't have to. We already left the bar at 2.
That's
Like,
unbelievable.
I don't know who you're trying to prove this to.
No one, obviously, because no one was there watching.
And he didn't invite anybody either.
Oh my! It was just literally this is my thing.
This is what I'm doing.
It's my safe haven.
Just go out in the field in your boots and your button-down polo.
Wow. Where's Kevin from?
New Orleans.
Okay. Just wondering.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean,
That's
the first it wasn't a one-off either. That was the problem. It wasn't
That's a huge problem. It wasn't like a drunk bet. It was like a. This is me.
Yeah, it's happening more than once a month. Like, we gotta go get him.
This is how Kevin spends his nights.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna get caught.
This is how Kevin spends his drinking nights.
Yeah. Not trying to go home with anybody. I'm just running
No,
bases.
by himself.
Yeah.
For these bases, baby.
Hey, you stay in the car. I'll be
need
right back.
I need this dirt on me. Need to get my feet in the
Can't
dirt.
believe they didn't give me a scholarship.
That's crazy.
Oh. They said Jay Mitch could pull a hammy. That would be my only shot. I still wouldn't like my odds.
I'm in it. If I pull the hammer, you're 28.
Still, yeah. I'm not going to know until after.
26 and 28. There you go. That's the 2-yard lines.
I think I guess if you gave me a 40-yard head start, I think I could pretty much jog that one home.
I got a chance. I still got
What
a
are you
chance
running right now, you think? 60?
In the 60?
Yeah. That's what they want us to do.
Right now, if I ran a 60 right now, I'm not running a 60 right now.
It's crazy how they make you go 60.
Like,
in
I'm like,
baseball. It's
60
so long.
yard? Why?
The outfield.
When am I ever running this? That's so. If I gotta run this for in the outfield, I'm looking at the off outfield and be like, I fucking hate you. Bro.
Where are you?
What are you doing? Why am I running this fall for this?
It's for they knew the new shift was
I'm
coming.
out. Yeah, I'm out on that. No, 60 is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
You should just run the bases, right?
Like, why not?
That's what you need to see where I'm
Why not?
fast.
Or run the 30.
Yeah.
which is the 90 feet. Like, run to 30. Well, what are we doing here?
60.
60? Come on, man. When am I ever running 2 baselines straight ahead?
I was so used to running the 40. When I ran the 60, I was like, oh, we still got.
I still got to keep going.
Yeah, there's more to this.
When you actually get up there and you look up, you're like, God,
They look so
So-
fun. Yeah. I'm thinking, can I hand this thing off to anybody?
So-
There's a relay race.
still got to go. 60's deep, coach. It's
I
a
guess
long
they'll
way.
see if you got extra juice after 40, like if you can turn it on.
I don't really think they know why they thought 60 was the number.
It's
I'm
too
just gonna
late
be
to
honest
change.
with you. Yeah. And now it's just a thing. I don't really think they know why. It's like saying like BP. Like BP is a guy, you know what's coming, and he's throwing it at 55 miles an hour. When are you ever gonna see that in the game? Never.
I guess
Ever.
ever.
But that's what you practice with every day.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's kind of the same, and you still do it. Where now there's pitching machines, there's all kind of machines. There's really all the technology you need for that really not to be a thing. It's still an everyday thing.
Feels
So I
like
think
not a
it's-
waste of time at all.
I think it's kind of the same thing. I think they see it as like, oh man, it's just
But
in
wouldn't
the
you
game.
wouldn't you feel weird if you didn't have BP now? Like if you went out there like we're doing this.
True story. I kind of stopped taking BP like towards the back end of my career. I would literally just do cage work and like I wasn't.
Actually
if I
working on something.
No, like I'm not a huge BP guy. I always felt like when I get on the field to take BP, like I try to do too much, and then I take the too much swing to the game, as opposed to like when I'm in a cage, I kind of work in a cage. I kind of work in the middle of the field. I kind of
Separate the two.
I stay within myself, right? And then now I'm able to muscle memory that swing, and that's the swing I was bringing to the game, as opposed to the maybe I go 3 rounds in BP where I'm great, and all of a sudden the last round, oh, let's let it loose and let's do too much. And then that's the swing. That's the last swing you took.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, that's the swing you're taking
Yeah,
in
it
the
felt
game.
great until now. And
So-
then you're batting lead off. And it's like, oh, I just had a terrible round. of
That
BP.
happens more than you think. Mm-hmm. I want to say Bryce Harper's first MVP that he won. The second half of the year, he didn't take BP on the field one single time.
He just kept that home run derby swing.
His home run derby swing was his cage swing. That's
Yeah.
all he did. He did all his work in the cage, and he see you at 7:00, and that was it. He didn't take BP on the field. A lot more people do that than you think.
Yeah, I guess the only thought process behind it's like just to get you, I guess, loose, like warmed up. But like you said, you could do all that.
No, those guys do that in the cage. Yeah,
Just see
you
it,
gotta
see it on the field.
Yeah, but say even
know?
these guys, they don't show up. The game was at 6:30 tonight. They didn't show up at 5:00. They've been there since 1:00, 2:00.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're gonna be warm. All right, you don't just need BP to get warm. They're gonna be warm. So I do.
Jackson trying to run again.
I wonder what Jay's saying right now. He's looking in there a long time.
Yeah, boy, we already talked about this.
Swing the stick. Ball. Here you go, 2-0. Let's see what he does right here again. Are we done with the questions? We don't have any more questions?
We're almost out of time. We got 4 minutes. There's another one that was. No, I'm not asking that. Try harder, boys. Tired of embarrassing myself. Do you want to get to the segments?
Yeah.
Because I have the Doge mistake of the day.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Dozy Place, the grateful sponsor that we were supposed to go at some point cut these people a promo. But, Mikey just wants to have lunch other places, dinner, such. It's okay. We'll get it figured out. Oh, you can't see it with this on the screen, sorry. Just going to lose it for a second, and we'll be right back. My Doze Eat Place mistake of the day. Shout out Tennessee Baseball for continually you put this target on your back.
And you get teams coming there and they play some good baseball, which they just did, and they go in there and beat them. You're asking for what I don't think you thought you were really signing up for.
Yeah.
And they're getting it right now. I like that one.
But
good.
thank you.
that.
You got to know if you're that far off the bag and you have to run back that far off a liner pretty much to tag.
Oh,
Coach, I'm staying here. Like there's no.
Oh,
yeah. When you turn back, I'm toast. You're just waiting to see the ball. You're waiting to see the glove come down.
Also because like he's so far in, you're in your mind thinking like the only chance I really got to make it right here is an off-target throw. They got the off-target throw, and they still got thrown out because the relay was perfect on it.
Yeah.
Like you're thinking like it's going to take a bad throw for me to win right here. And then when he got tagged out, he was probably like, really? Did he just put that on the cash? No, he didn't actually.
Slow turn.
He actually threw it to the other guy. The other guy threw you out.
He threw it 40 feet
That's
up the
what he got.
line. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
But that's my Doe's mistake of the day.
I like that one.
And I also have. Have you watched any of the World Baseball Classic for our?
I have
curtain
not
calls?
yet. No. I just literally saw someone stole my curtain call, so now I'm upset about it because it's already in there.
Is it the?
It's the Bregman play.
Oh, you can have that one. I put 2 in there.
Okay. I like
This
it.
one's mine. It is.
Wait, you gotta. What we got? This
is Assured Partners.
sponsored by
Frankie S. Harris III.
and our absent friend.
And our absent friend, may rest in peace, Mikie Mahtook.
Hope dinner was good.
Yeah, it's the J. Mitch show.
I hope dinner was good.
Yeah. Long dinner.
Oh man, boy.
4 courses.
Yeah, 7 courses over there. What we
No
got?
dessert was worth it.
4 horses, 7 courses.
He's paying the bill. But this one you need audio for, but you won't have it. But there's a Cuban fan that goes to pretty much every baseball game that they play, and he brings a vuvuzela out, brings out a horn, and he lets it rip between every pitch
For
all
the
game.
Team Cuba.
Yeah, and so he runs. He's on top of the dugout, like
This guy's a show.
Everybody on the broadcast was like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, what is that noise?" And it's basically the Cuban Vandy Whistler, but he actually seems dope. He's like leather lungs for LSU. This guy's at everything.
Him, Chris Guillard, and K-Lady. Wow, what a tandem they would make.
Yeah. So that was mine, and then I got yours as well.
Well, yeah, so mine was, hey, spring training is the time to kind of toy with some stuff and see if things will work, and that's what a lot of big leaguers, that's what a lot of guys do who are for sure on that opening day roster. Bregman has obviously earned the opportunity to know he's on that opening day roster, which we all know he is. So Bregman is toying with some stuff and seeing if something works better. It's something he's probably been doing in BP and practice and stuff like that, but going to his left instead of making a field throw where he's kind of trying to, I guess, place the ball with some touch, he said, you know what, I'll just spike it right into the dirt right here and give you a nice bounce pass. And it worked perfectly right there. Don't be surprised if you see that catch on. Like, really, don't be surprised at all. It's an easier play to make. And I'm surprised no one's done it a lot earlier. But it definitely is an easier play to make.
He said he's been messing around with it for a few years.
Yeah.
He saw somebody else do it, and he was like, "Oh, that would actually."
I've heard of someone talking. I've heard some infielders talking about something like that before. And if you don't completely, truly trust the touch throw right there, which imagine. Think of a quarterback who's not very good at the screen game. That's kind of what that throw would be for that quarterback. Whereas, hey, you let him, give him a chance to rip it downfield. On the cash, it looks like it comes out with confidence. That's that same situation. I'm not saying that Bregman has that feel, but
he's making it easier for himself.
There you go. It makes it easier. It's an easier play to make. Hey, let me just spike this thing right here, knowing that it's going to go right to him, and there you go.
And also, you can only do this in Major League Baseball, right? Like the fields are in such good shape to where they're dragged.
You can run into some college fields to do it. Definitely, you can run into some college fields.
You're not doing it in high school, unless you're playing on turf.
Unless you play at Barb.
Yeah.
Or turf. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it'd be tough to do in high school. I don't.
There were craters on the field.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just not even about the craters because you get a hard surface. That's what helps. I just don't know how even some of these hard surfaces are. So that's where
That's what I'm saying. There was divots on our, we try our best.
Yeah.
Dig out the batter's box, and you're 2 feet shorter than you were earlier.
You're looking uphill. The center fielder's looking in, and all they can see is knees on up. I can't even see their feet. I can't see their feet over there. What are they doing?
And our pitcher's mound was off center. It was too late to fix it.
Wow, God, that's crazy.
So you would look like if you played catcher, if you were in the batter's box, you're like, I can see second base for sure.
I'm not supposed to be able to see that.
This guy is feasting on the left side of the plate right now. Like his left, my right.
Coach, that's lightweight a competitive advantage. Like you can't do that.
For one of us.
That's crazy.
So,
that's unbelievable.
High school, shout out Menard.
Thank y'all for tuning in today. We had a great show.
Great show.
Little tag team action, if you will.
I have a lot of takes.
Yeah.
Been out the game for a minute.
If you liked it, if you enjoyed it, please come back again. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, phone a friend, text a friend. We have a $500 promo going on. If you get a friend to sign up, I'm lying. That's not true.
I was about to say.
That's not true.
I got plenty of friends.
Lloyd's going to give it.
Yeah.
That's not true. But, hey, seriously, man, tell
you
your
can
friends.
steal my credit card
Hey,
and not get $500.
Tell your friends, tell your people. It helps us, help you. Let's keep this thing growing. Let's keep this thing going. There's your Wednesday edition. We'll be back Friday from 1 to 3 here, kind of pregame-ish. Talk the game, speak the game, speak the weekend into existence because it'll be right after. Thank y'all for coming. That's Mik'd Up. See y'all.
Peace. Mikey should be full of takes, so we're good. We're talked out.
We're on mute.
Yeah, we're just going to sit there. How's it feel? All right. Later, boys. Appreciate you. Like, subscribe, do all the things. Go run the bases after the game.
Please don't do that.
You joined Kevin.